and welcome to This Car Pod.
Filippo.
I'm Sean.
And this is a very important episode of our podcast. We recorded this episode a week ago because I am out of town. So we recorded the whole thing. We were going to post it, and then disaster struck.
Actual disaster. This is bad.
Real disaster. The Ferrari Luce is announced, and we're sitting here, and we have to comment on this. We got the biggest car pod. We have to comment our opinion and tell people how we feel about this thing. So Ferrari Luce, Filippo, why don't you start us off with just the basic facts, and then we'll get into what we think.
Yeah, so Ferrari on Monday, yesterday as we're filming this, revealed the Luce after months of teasing the interior and teasing other things. It is a 5-seater, 4-door electric vehicle. We'll get to some pictures in a minute. It has something like 1,050 horsepower from four motors, one in each wheel. The rear ones produce 800 something of that. We expect it to have just shy of 300 miles of range in the US cycle, a little bit over that in the WLTP European cycle. It was developed and designed in collaboration between Ferrari's design studio and Jony Ive and his design for Love From. And Jony Ive, of course, famous for his Apple work.
All right, I have a lot of thoughts about this. The biggest of which is this is an absolute abomination. And the single worst decision that I don't want to say that any automaker has made in my lifetime, but we're getting there. We're getting really, really, really close. Let's start with Ferrari and just what this is for Ferrari. Ferrari says they want to bring on, they want to kind of go in a different direction. And I've been thinking about this, and I wonder if the different direction they want to go in is that they want to, for the first time in their history, have nobody interested in one of their products. I wonder if that's where they're headed with this one. I don't find it to be particularly ugly. A lot of people are saying it's ugly. I think it'd be fine. I think if it was released as a Polestar or a Honda, we'd be like, oh yeah, this is a car, whatever. I think releasing it as a 4-door electric Ferrari that looks so generic and so non-Ferrari and so not desirable, right? Like, it looks practical and aerodynamic, but like, this isn't how we think of Ferrari. It's just a total, it's absolutely insane. And I want to be clear here about a couple things. I think it's insane. I'm sure you guys do. Everyone does. All comments I have seen all over social media everywhere have been unbelievably negative. I have not yet seen a single positive comment anywhere from anyone on any subject. But this isn't just the usual internet car enthusiast losers who are going off. Luca Di Montezemolo, who was Ferrari's CEO before, was quoted on the record today as saying, if I said what I think, it would damage Ferrari. We risk the destruction of a myth. I hope they remove the prancing horse from that car. This isn't just a guy. This is the most important guy in Ferrari's modern history who blew up the brand and created Ferrari basically what it is today.
He gave the company the
Ferrari's
steam
stock price today dropped.
Ferrari's still resting on the steam and the momentum that Luca set in motion.
Well, to a degree. I think Ferrari IPO'd in a post-Luca era and have greatly expanded things since then in a way that some purists don't love, but that has been very successful financially for Ferrari. And so Luca kind of started them on this trajectory, and I think they've done an amazing job of continuing on this trajectory since then. But this changes things. Ferrari's stock price today was down almost 5% on the announcement, which I think is proof that it's not just a bunch of internet people who don't like it. This is real. Like, these are real people responding in real time, watching this and saying this is a complete disaster. Unbelievably negative. I have a lot of kind of annoying rich guy friends who aren't actually into cars, but sort of pretend to be. And all of them are laughing. Zero. These are the kind of people who would normally buy something like this, who bought, Cayenne turbos and other AQSs. And they're sitting here who would touch this car?
You know who likes this car is Mustang Mach-E buyers. It's the same exact concept. Let's take an iconic name and just put it on absolute crap, and let's see what happens.
Okay, Mustang Mach-E is a relatively compelling, when it came out, EV product. Here's what I think Ferrari is struggling with. They realize that they have to, in some markets, Europe being one of them, frankly, if they want to have any amount of sales growth, they need to offer an EV. That's kind of non-negotiable for some of the world markets where they compete. It's not true in the US, but it's true in some markets that they need to offer something.
I don't
For a bunch of
Ferrari,
regulatory reasons.
for every other manufacturer, I think it makes sense. Yes, for Ferrari,
I think they not to have growth to be able to sell in certain markets. I do think they will need to have an electric vehicle in their lineup.
Yeah, I think that that's reasonable. I think that that's an acceptably fair point, especially Asia.
I think that they saw the failure of some other cars, the Pininfarina Battista being one of them, a bunch of others where like these are like high-powered sports cars that have not done well in the market, and they thought we need to go in a different direction. It feels like they chose the wrong different direction, but I get what led them.
I think that there's you can see where their head was. You can see what they're thinking. A practical four-door car is much more popular in China, where sports cars have not been particularly popular, even Porsches. And so there's some sense to that. And hey, we need to go in a different direction. So we're going to hire this totally different design team basically to like take us in this different direction. And this is going to be a new Ferrari. And so you kind of understand where they're going in that sense. But it is obviously one of the stupidest, most indescribably idiotic decisions. I mean, any one of these things taken individually would be insane. The car has basically the numbers of like a nice Polestar, right? Like 0.1625.
I know. It's not competitive. The Lucid Air Sapphire is 1.8, 1.89.
The Lucid Air Sapphire does 1.8 seconds. Like that.
Right.
Ferrari's the fastest. Whatever. If Ferrari's going to come out with this car and charge what 3x what Lucid charges for that Sapphire, and then it's going to look like this and not even be faster. Like,
right. That's the thing, right? I think Ferrari, despite what everybody wishes, which is I think everybody wishes that Ferrari was a more sentimental brand that looked back and tried to just keep going. That's not how they present themselves.
Yes, but
that's not what they want to be.
Sure. But in the design of this car, there's a lot of looking back. The round taillights, a lot of the interior features, a lot of what Johnny Ive took from Ferrari is looking back.
Sure,
yeah,
but
I will say, Filippo's point, though, is a great one. Ferrari has actually, not only have they don't view themselves as being sentimental, they've actually been successful by being not sentimental. Every time they've come out with a new product that has not been sentimental, an SUV, a four-seater convertible in 2008, which was a big deal, they have actually, all they've done is get more sales and sell more cars. And so they're sitting here watching this. I bet you there are people in Ferrari HQ sitting there watching this and saying, this will blow over. It's another California launch. This is just another California. These people don't know yet. And I think who doesn't know is Ferrari. We have watched brand after brand attempt these things and not succeed particularly well and walk back EV strategies, not just in the States, but globally because demand hasn't been there, but particularly demand hasn't been there at this price point in this segment. The Battista and the Rimac Nevera are good examples, but Lamborghini bailed out of the whole thing because they listened to their customers. And I think it's interesting. Ferrari has always been intentionally arrogant about listening to their customers. They've always kind of, we're not going to listen to our customers. We know what's best. And I think that works right up until it doesn't. And this will not work. This is not just an abomination it's embarrassing. It's completely embarrassing to do this to the Ferrari brand.
A couple of things that are interesting, legitimately. Five-seater, first five-seater Ferrari. Why they felt the need to do that, I don't really know, but regardless,
because Asia. I think because cars with four doors and five
four doors, yeah, but four seats I think is fine for the Asian market too. I don't know how they got specs to be that unimpressive. Hard to know.
I want to know what it weighs. If it's super light, then that becomes much more interesting.
It's not.
I want to know that number.
I have a few other things that I've been thinking about.
As do I, but go ahead.
Johnny Ive is famous in the design world, maybe one of the most famous living designers. And I don't want to say that he's got an ego. I don't know him. I haven't seen a lot of interviews with him, but obviously he has this respect. So he goes into this, and probably people are willing to, first off, what does his legacy look like after this? Obviously, there's a tarnishment here, and there will be when this car is the flop that it will become. But you also have to wonder, did people just say yes because Johnny Ive said it to be true, and he did the iPhone, or he knows what he's doing, and we want to go in a different direction, and so here's this man who he must know better than us, and just people rubber stamped it because they just assumed that a different direction meant something like this. I'm curious about that.
Well, so I do want to say about that. The shape itself, per Ferrari's own press releases, was designed by Ferrari before bringing in Johnny Ive. All he did from their description was basically like put the finishing touches on it, do some of the like stylistic elements around the shape.
Well, he's going to go. I mean, regardless of that, he will go down as being associated with this forever.
Oh, totally.
I mean, this will be part of his legacy. I was also interested in some of my colleagues who went to the event. Pay close attention over the next week to these videos. There are going to be people who tell you things in order to keep a relationship as opposed to the truth.
Yeah.
And we are going to tell you the truth here. This thing sucks.
I do wonder what it looks like with other cars. It's hard to get a sense of like its full height and shape.
I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like ass. It looks like ass.
It is much lower than a Purosangue. I don't remember the exact numbers, but
it's longer.
It's also lower. I do wonder what it looks like relative to other cars.
It's interesting. There's a creator named Cleo Abram that doesn't do car content, but got to interview Johnny Ive and Flavio Manzoni, who's the head of design for Ferrari, and she asked really the right questions that you want to ask, like what would Enzo Ferrari think of this? What would Steve Jobs think of this? And they had a really hard time answering those questions.
I think I would too. I do want to speak about a couple of interesting things. By all accounts, from people that were there in person, so take everything that I'm about to say with the grain of salt that Doug added, the interior is stunningly beautiful and like well executed, great materials, truly beautiful. Purportedly,
we predicted on this podcast a couple of months ago that they showed the interior first because the car was going to be so disappointing that they wanted to get some positive. I agree, the interior looks cool. We predicted that. We even put out a short.
We did. Did you? The one thing that I do think is actually interesting. So apparently the motors are designed by Ferrari, which is kind of interesting. That's somewhat rare in the EV world. The batteries are made to be able to swap out for future battery cell types, which is kind of interesting. The sound thing is actually truly interesting. So you can change the sound that you're getting from it, but the sound is captured from the vibration in the axles. It's not like a false sound that's generated for this like everybody else does, like BMW does, that's Hans Zimmer.
Can you change the sound to make the car not stuck? Is that possible?
I can't speak to that, but it is kind of interesting to use the sound waves from like the vibration in the axles that are then amplified. That's somewhat interesting. I will say,
it's just not going to be enough, Filippo. That's just not going to get us
there. For sure.
Is this going to be the first time Mansari improves a Ferrari?
I don't think it's that.
I don't just like how it looks, by the way. I do think that it looks like the next-gen I-Pace. Like, when I look at it, I think I see a next-gen I-Pace. And that's another sadness for me. Like, this is a derivative car. Ferrari's entire history has been, like, with a few exceptions in the 60s and 70s, has been, like, being the leaders in design. We're going to go out there, and we're going to just make the most beautiful cars that are the most desirable, and everyone else is going to follow us, especially in the last 20 years. And that's been true. And to show up with this derivative design that looks like it could be a Mercedes, a Polestar, a Jaguar, like anything, that's just like totally crazy. You know what hit me the other day? It hit me as I was thinking about this. Everybody always accuses me of being a Porsche guy. You know, if Ferrari's going to do this, like, my kids are going to grow up in an era where Porsche is the enthusiast brand. Ferrari has handed this to Porsche. When I was a kid, Ferrari was the enthusiast brand, and me and Sean fell in love with Ferrari, and I know every Ferrari, and I am most obsessed with Ferrari of any brand. And why is my child going to like grow up in that same way? Porsche's making cars with manual transmissions and like real naturally aspirated engines, and Ferrari's making this. Like, this is what, for $600,000. Like, what?
Competitive specs, really. I find it kind of interesting. I want to see one in person to really draw judgment.
The Doug review of this car is going to be amazing.
Obviously they won't lend me a car, so I'm going to have to borrow it from somebody. I'd be surprised. Obviously, the people that I borrow Ferraris from are going to be forced to buy one. And I think that's a reality of this car. Ferrari's going to point to some sales and say, hey, we're selling them. But that's only because there are people who are hoping for allocations of other cars who are going to get stuck with them. One thing I do find very interesting is Ferrari has made it incredibly incredibly clear that they want this car to be a car that creates new buyers for them. And so I assume what they are hoping for is people who are not just trying to play the allocation game and get allocated an SP4, an SP5, or an SP6, or whatever those cars come. They're trying to find actual new customers buying this car. And I can't imagine there's a market for this car outside of people who are forced to buy it.
I'm not as pessimistic on it as you and literally every other person
At
is.
$600,000, you're not as pessimistic?
There's a lot of rich people who
I don't
like tech.
I think it looks kind of interesting.
They're all going to get laughed at. Those rich people only like this stuff in as much as it is cool. They only buy these cars in as much as it makes them feel cool to be driving it and be looked at as cool by other people. No one will think that about this. If someone I know who's in my rich guy sphere buys this car, the rest of us will all be laughing at him behind his back. And probably, to me, I would laugh at him to his face. This is an absolute abomination.
I get your point about it being looking like a lot of other EVs and being a little derivative of that. I don't fully agree. I think there's a lot of pretty unique elements from a styling perspective. I think that there's a chance that in real life, in some markets, this does come out and looks futuristic and can bring new people to the brand. I'm not as pessimistic about it as I think you or most other people, especially in the US, are. I don't think this is a car for us. This is not a car for the U.S. market. I mean, it will come here by all accounts, but I don't think it was developed with those in mind. I think that's reflected here.
It's not a car for any market at $650,000.
But by the way, can I throw out there, the headlight appears to be in the lower section of the bodywork.
It does.
It doesn't matter. The details do not matter. The overarching big picture is Ferrari has been an object of desirability that seems untouchable and amazingly cool to the point of frustration. Honestly, for the last 25 years. Other automakers bang their heads against the wall saying this Huracan is just as good. Why can't we keep resale? Why can't we have a long waiting list like Ferrari does? Why can't we, get people into an MC20, right? Like, even though Ferrari, it's the same. It looks the same. It looks even better. The performance numbers are the same. Aston Martin has been killing themselves for 25 years trying to make cars as desirable as Ferrari. Their numbers are similar. No one wants the cars because Ferrari has this mystique, which in my mind has taken a massive hit if this car does come to market, which it seems like they're serious.
Well, for better or worse.
You ever realize how many customers slip through the cracks? Missed calls, texts that never get applied, follow-ups, and that just never happen. It's like Ryan Lopez trying to contact an HVAC repair guy. These things add up fast, and that's why today's episode is brought to you by Quo, spelled Q-U-O, the business communication system built so you never miss a call. And look, this one's a little different because we actually use Quo at Cars and Bids. Filippo just got a call right now using Quo. And if you email Sean at carsandbids.com, he might also pick up the phone through our Quo phone line. It's how we connect with our buyers and sellers every single day. So I can genuinely tell you this thing works. We're happy to spread the word. And here's what makes it great. Your entire team can handle calls and texts from one shared number. So no more missed messages, no more dropped conversations, no drama. Everyone sees the full thread, replies go out faster, and your customers actually feel taken care of. It works right from your phone or computer. You keep your existing number and you can add teammates in minutes. It'll also sync with your CRM. And it's not just a phone system, it's a smart one. The AI automatically logs your calls, generates summaries, flags next steps, and so much more. It can even qualify leads or respond after hours so your business keeps running, even when you're throwing back a couple of cold ones. Calls, texts, voicemails, transcripts, contact details, all in one clean view. It's the #1 rated business phone system on G2 with over 3,000 reviews, and more than 90,000 businesses rely on it. Money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free, plus get 20% off your first 6 months when you go to quo.com/cars. That's quo.com/cars.
Summer is here, which means I've got my annual cross-country road trip coming up. And before I take off on any trip, I like to make absolutely sure my vehicle is ready for the road. You might have a trip coming up too, so I've got 5 things from AutoZone that'll help you get moving. And the great thing is, AutoZone is everywhere, which means wherever the road takes you, the parts you need are right there. Number 1, Fix Finder. If you've got a dash light on, start with a free Fix Finder scan at AutoZone. It reads your dashboard signals, engine, ABS, GPS maintenance and prints out a report telling you exactly what's going on. An AutoZoner can point you to the right part or even refer you to a local shop. Fast, easy, totally free. Number 2, fluids. Top everything off and don't forget the easy to overlook ones: windshield wiper fluid, brake fluid, and coolant. You can order it all on AutoZone.com and pick it up the same day. Number 3, oil. Always, always, always check it. Look at the level and the color on the dipstick. If it's due, don't wait. Ask an AutoZoner to help you grab the right oil and filter for your engine. Number 4, the essentials: tires, lights, and battery. I always check my tire pressure before leaving. I make sure every light works, and I check the wipers while I'm at it. For the battery, look for corrosion and get it tested. AutoZone does that for free. And number 5, brakes and belts. Squealing or whining during braking? Time for a replacement. Duralast brakes have a 100% noise-free guarantee and a factory-matched OEM fit. Need to swap a serpentine belt? AutoZone's Loan a Tool program has you covered, and the AutoZone app has your belt diagram right there. When it comes to car prep, a little goes a long way. Take care of your car now, and it'll take care of you on the road. And if you need a part or a pit stop, AutoZone's got you covered wherever the trip takes you. Now, let's ride.
Why did they do this? Like, why do you think they chose to do this at this moment? Like, Ferrari and the Italian government are very cozy. They didn't need to do this for any regulatory reason.
I mean, there are other countries.
I mean,
but
Ferrari is probably worried about falling behind on a global level in terms of its brand. But it does absolutely astonish me when we are looking at other automakers. The fact that Lamborghini was going to do this and then bailed because of consumer interest. And we've seen Pininfarina, and we've seen Rimac, and we've seen other companies, including Ferrari's own SF90s, which are trading at half of sticker. Yeah. You know, that's another thing that hasn't been discussed here. But this is a different era of Ferrari in a lot of ways. And we're already starting to kind of go down that path where Ferrari is no longer the brand that it once was, making one less car than the market demands, because, you know, you're seeing resale values tank. You're seeing 12 cylinders on the market right now selling for under MSRP, cars that have 75 miles on them. And this ain't the Ferrari of yore. No. And I think that they're worried that their brand won't be as accepted globally. A four-door car, an electric car is going to get them into some of these markets. But it certainly is not going to curry them any favor in any place where Ferrari is an established and desirable brand. And I don't think this car will serve to make them more desirable in those emerging markets that don't know the Ferrari brand that well either. So I think it's a flop on basically every level.
I do think, I don't disagree, to be clear, and I'm taking a somewhat contrarian view here. Since Ferrari went public, they had a huge run-up 2022 to 2025, more or less, in their stock price. It has been coming down for the last year plus. And the last year, it's down 32%. Yes, it's down again today today's Tuesday, by about 5%. But in the last 5 days, it's about flat, which I'm going to interpret as the market has kind of realized that Ferrari is in a precarious position where maybe they're not worth as much as we once thought. I do hope that the Luce is a little bit of a wake-up call for Ferrari, and this reaction is a little bit of a wake-up call that they actually do need to go after enthusiasts if they want to retain any of their brand credibility. I hope that will do that.
I don't think that Ferrari will truly get a wake-up call until the sales numbers come in. And because I truly think,
to be fair, they're down.
Yeah, they will. I truly think that what Ferrari is sitting there, that Ferrari, who has always been arrogant about their customers' demands, from the day that Enzo Ferrari told Ferruccio Lamborghini to go build tractors, Ferrari has always been arrogant about this. I think that they're sitting there thinking the market is reacting like this, but they don't know, and it's a bunch of internet people, and none of these people are real anyway. And when this car comes out, people are going to see how great it is, and they're going to buy it. I think Ferrari truly is sitting there right now believing that. I don't think that they're sitting there thinking like shaking or nervous about the reaction. I think they're reminded of California and of Puro Sangue, and they're saying we've weathered this stuff before, and we are Ferrari, and we will weather it again. And I think that this particular car, I think when we look back, this car will not have been the beginning of the end. I think that came earlier, but this car certainly was probably the biggest block in terms of pushing them kind of down the road of becoming a brand that is not as revered as it was when we were all growing up.
This is the first full departure, right? Every other car has had some connective tissue to what made Ferrari.
Yeah.
Even if they are looking forward, weren't looking in their past, right? The Purosangue has a V12. The California has a great V8. There's something about this departure.
In the design, the style of all those cars was unmistakably Ferrari. And honestly, people have been complaining about the departure of Pininfarina since it happened. I don't entirely agree. I think that Ferrari has always been sort of a futuristic leader type brand, and they've taken the company in a completely futuristic direction that has been kind of cool and interesting. And until now.
Yeah.
And now forever we will have we will associate, they went to the Apple iPhone guy and got an Apple iPhone car, and this is not the Ferrari that we ever wanted. And they're sitting, I truly believe they're sitting there right now in Italy saying, these people, that's the whole point. We didn't want the enthusiasts. We want a new group. And I think that they're not going to, as a result, they're going to lose a lot of enthusiasts, and they're not going to get the new people.
I think that's a fair, but don't worry, they have thousands of deeply considered details that unite to create a singular driving experience. So we're good.
We're going to have to rent one of these on Turo. There's nobody in the world who's going to lend me one of these. We're going to have to rent one of these on Turo. Unfortunately, that won't be possible because no one on the planet will ever buy this trash.
What if it is the greatest? What if it is the greatest driving experience of all time?
It doesn't matter.
And we get in this car and it's like
it's interesting. I am curious about that, how it drives. Like, it's funny because that has not been something that Ferrari has talked that much about. They've talked about the details, the design, and the horsepower.
As a 296.
I remember when the Cayenne came out, one of Porsche's fallbacks was, okay, say what you will, but this makes the X5 drive like a truck. That was a direct quote from the people at Porsche. And when people drove the original Cayenne, they had that opinion, and it really did start to sway public opinion on it. I don't think that's going to happen here. Because we've seen the Pininfarina Battista and the Rimac Nevera and other high-powered EVs, and we've already had that experience. There's no way that they can make this car drive in a way that makes up for all the other BS. It's not possible.
I am into this big bet. Like, fundamentally, I think it's cool, but I don't think that it's a good business decision in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I think I am into it also. I think Ferrari
they did a poor job of it. If they'd done a good job of it, I would be super into it.
Totally. I think Ferrari, an EV Ferrari, if we're being honest about the future of cars, this is a direction they probably do have to go. There's a lot of different things you could say about timing and all that, but I think this is probably a future reality. Doing it at this time with this car that looks like this, with these numbers at this price point, is just laughable. It's the Honda Prelude is off the hook. We have a new worst automotive decision of the last 10 years in our world here. With that, should we return to the regular podcast?
Let's go back to it.
goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Hello?
Hello. Well, I'm leaving.
You're leaving. Goodbye, Sean.
Yeah, Kennan's joining, or Nick is joining.
And I'm moving there.
Another two.
Goodbye.
If you're bidding on or just won a stellar ride on Cars and Bids, whether it's a pristine 90s JDM icon like the Zesty Drift car, or a high horsepower resto mod, or even some weird modern classic like a Multipla, you already know that these cars aren't just used cars. We love them like family. And that's exactly why regular car insurance just doesn't cut it. And that is why Hagerty is the official insurance provider of Cars and Bids and Ryan Lopez's drift car. They also insure all of my fun cars, like the SLR. They're enthusiasts who happen to sell insurance, and they actually understand what makes these vehicles special. Hagerty offers guaranteed value coverage, which means you agree on the car's value up front. If there's a total loss, that's exactly what you get. No depreciation, no arguing, no guessing games. They also make claims painless. Their adjusters know classic and collector cars, and you can choose your own specialty shop or even get paid to do the work yourself. And unlike standard policies, Hagerty understands these cars are meant to be driven. Whether that's a weekend cruise, a cars and coffee run, or a road trip for ice cream, without restrictive mileage limits. If you're mid-build, they've got you covered too. Hagerty's vehicle under construction coverage automatically increases your insured value by 10% every quarter, so your policy keeps up with your progress. Plus, you get the Hagerty Drivers Club with flatbed roadside assistance, valuation tools, and their really cool magazine. So when you win your next auction, protect it the right way. Visit Hagerty.com for a quote today. Hagerty, never stop driving.
Hello and welcome to This Car Pod.
I'm Kennan.
I'm Filippo.
This is a very special episode of This Car Pod because I am out of town. And so we've pre-recorded this. You're watching this, we recorded this weeks ago. Nothing that we say on this podcast we still believe.
That's, yeah.
No, but because we recorded it weeks ago, unfortunately, we have to skip our most sumptuous segment, the news.
Sumptuous.
That's an interesting the adjective for that one. Okay.
And so we're going to move directly, because the news has happened, but we can't report on it because
We don't
filming
know
way
the
ahead.
news this week.
Right. So we're going to instead move on to the Talk Cars segment right away. There's a lot of Talk Cars. I have saved a lot of Talk Cars for this exact podcast to talk through a lot of different car things since we don't have
Start
the
us
news
off.
to discuss.
Start us off strong.
Okay. I will start us off strong. You know what? Let's just start with the most important thing of the day, which is kind of news to an extent. Sean and I received an email the other day. A couple of weeks ago on our podcast, I made a big thing about how I was still looking for 2 Colorado license plates to complete my set of one from every county.
In Colorado.
One of these denim license plates. They were blue. They were only made from 1992 to 1999. And I've been looking for 25 years. I've been trying to complete this. This is not an exaggeration. I've been trying to do this for 25 years, and I'm down to 2 counties. And I jokingly said, I didn't think anybody out there. I said, I'd give $1,000 to anybody who can get me one of the remaining 2 counties. And I gave him Sean's email.
Sure. That's SEAN at CorporateBits.com.
So we got an email from a guy. You want to pull it up? We got an email from a guy named
Look at
Curtis in Salt Lake City. And he said, Dear Doug, dear Sean, I have a plate Doug's looking for you. My wife was a dental hygiene student at Colorado Northwestern Community College from 1998 to 2000 in Rangeley, Colorado. It's one of the small towns there. We registered our 1995 Subaru Legacy sedan in Rio Blanco County while we were in school. We moved back. I kept the plate. And he asked if I wanted to have it. 25 years I've been looking for this.
Some
That
people,
is
when
so
they
nice. That is so generous. I mean, this is a real.
I gave him $1,000.
You should. I'm glad you're a man of your word.
But look, Filippo, now the last county left is Mineral. We're not going to find that by the same way, unfortunately.
We
but
may.
No, we won't. But Curtis came through for us. Unbelievable. Are you thrilled?
I'm thrilled. I didn't realize you've been looking for 25
years.
Some people turn 13 and have hobbies. I don't know what those hobbies are, but they have hobbies. Doug turned 13 and starts looking
I'll tell you what
for
happened.
license plates.
I'll tell you what happened. I'm going to make it very clear. When I was a kid,
Yeah.
when I was 11 years old, Colorado stopped producing license plates that showed what county the car was from. When I was 11 years old, I consider it to be the worst moment of my life. Okay, it's January 1, 2000.
Right.
The dawn of the millennium, and they ruined everything. So because there were no more counties on the license plates, I made it my life's goal to get all of the counties, and they had green plates and they had blue plates, and the green ones were standard. They were easier to find. These cost $50 extra. So what Curtis didn't tell us here is that he actually spent $50 extra to have this plate.
Wow.
Back in that era.
That's a lot of money.
And so, yeah, that was what as a child, that's all I wanted. I wanted to capture the license plates of my youth. See, Kennan wants the cars that from when he was a kid that are the most, I only want the license plates.
That's where we differ.
I'm not even, I grew up in Colorado. I haven't even been to Colorado in like 7 years. I'm not interested in Colorado at all.
But you have been to every county.
I've been to every county in Colorado, including beautiful Rio Blanco County, which is in the northwest part of the state, where they find dinosaur fossils.
That's very cool. And they have denim license, or had.
And have a
denim
white
license plates.
river.
Yeah, there you go. Rio Blanco. Can't believe it. Truly changed my life, Curtis. Thank you so much. If you're out there and you find the Mineral, $1,000 for you.
Okay.
You gonna look?
No, I don't.
I've got flights
You'll
booked.
never find it, so don't
I
worry.
didn't, to be honest with you, I have never once in my whole life cared about license plates until you came into my life, and now that's all I see when I look at cars.
Ohio, by the way, still puts counties on the license plates, and in fact is one of
Yeah.
my hero states because they were going away from the whole county thing. They switched from the county name being written on the license plate to little numbers that you had to memorize, and they since went back to writing the county name.
Well-
They've actually gone forward in I think all license plates in all places should have.
But it
unlike
looks
the airport.
terrible. The way they do it is like
It looks bad.
they print. It's just like it looks like someone used a label maker
looks
and printed it out and
it's really-
slapped it on.
It looks really
horrible.
cheap. The
I
Ohio
like-
plates in general look bad now because they're all flat now.
Also, to be clear, with the small county numbers, like it did say
It did say,
on
but you
there,
had to
but
look
like you
really
really had to know.
close.
But hey, you know, when I knew Summit County. I think it was 55. I can't remember what it was.
So that's the problem. That's the problem.
Well, it's been a long time. I don't live there anymore. Haven't lived there in
Speaking
6
of
years.
license plates,
Yeah.
Yesterday, this weekend past weekend,
77.
I was up by Big Bear-ish.
Yeah.
And I was on the 15 a lot. There's a lot of new cars up there and on highways. I spent the entire time looking for a new format California.
Yeah.
Still have not seen one.
No, they only issued 250 of them in some Northern California county as like a test.
But surely they're run out of 9Ys.
They're
I've seen a
going to
lot
end
of
up going
9Ys.
to 9Z and do the whole thing.
Oh, sorry. They are doing 9Zs?
You're not going to see the new format.
They're going to do 9Z.
Although I have the first new format. Don't forget.
I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
Have I seen the first new
I
format?
thought it didn't come in.
No, I possess it.
Oh,
I've had it for years. It's literally, I have a picture of it, me holding it. Sean has posted on this podcast. I can't believe we started off with the most boring subject
Your
of all.
decision, not
I
mine.
want to move on to the best talk cars the whole time. This is generally a general talk cars.
Yeah.
The Toyota Sienna pulling out the Cybertruck. Have you seen this video?
I have not.
As if having a Cybertruck at this point wasn't incredibly embarrassing. I want to take you through the levels of embarrassment of this
C70
video.
parked behind it.
Pause here. So we start with this, the Stuck Cybertruck. Obviously embarrassing since this vehicle was touted as it can do anything and go anywhere and do anything. And in addition, the Cybertruck in general has kind of gotten embarrassed. We all agree. Like you see them around, you're like, oh, well, that was last year's fashion accessory. Okay, so we start there. We're at the beginning of embarrassment. Then the camera moves, all right? And we see it's being pulled by something, right?
Right.
And the something that it's being pulled by is go back to the start before is a Sienna. Now pause here. Go back a little bit actually.
Okay.
The next embarrassing layer is that it's being pulled by a Sienna, and this Sienna is so weak that it doesn't even have a tow hitch. They've got this strap hooked up somewhere to like a child
I think
safety
to the
tank.
I think it's to the left for
The
okay.
Cybertruck is such a pathetic vehicle that it's getting pulled out not only by a minivan, but a minivan without even the capability of towing.
Hey, it's a hybrid, okay?
Okay, and then you see it's some. I don't want to be sexist on this podcast, but you assumed it was going to be some burly dude who's like, I rescue people, like Matt's Off-Road Recovery. You see on
of
YouTube.
course.
But no, it's a woman. It's like she's just. And then also, to me, the most embarrassing thing is they've all decided to go to the kind of beach where people go
In a
with.
C70.
You think that's a C70?
Yeah, 100%.
With a blue top?
Yeah,
I was
it's
going to say
available.
it's a Solar. Oh, it is. It's a C70 with an aftermarket blue top.
You think I would be wrong about what kind of Volvo is parked in the background of the shot?
The point is, if the Cybertruck wasn't already an embarrassment, boy, this video really drives it home,
How
doesn't
did
it?
they end up in that?
There's so many layers to the video. It's really hard to pull them all apart. But I'm glad that you've given the play-by-play here.
So bad.
It's so. Well, also he ran over. I don't know where the guy was
They
going.
weren't even capable of
How do you think
steering into those things.
Right. That is so.
A Toyota
Toyota and 4-5 bystanders,
A Toyota Sienna.
and it's still kind of not out all the way at the end there.
That is Cybertruck ownership in 2027. I look at him now and I'm like, ugh. And now that I've seen this video, I'm like, oh,
Yikes.
like it can't tow. It's a 4-cylinder hybrid.
Yeah.
They're pulling out a Cybertruck. Remember, Elon Musk said it would save us from the apocalypse.
Hey, is that an all-wheel drive, Sienna?
Go for
Yeah,
it.
I know. I know. I know
I'll
that
tell
you
you. I'll tell you.
specifically
I'll go.
have a way to know.
Yeah, it's not a platinum. I don't know actually.
For
I
those-
think it is an all-wheel drive.
Doug and I have discovered, or done a lot of extensive research, that the Platinum Sienna has two different wheel designs.
Yeah, the bigger wheel is for the two-wheel
But you
drive.
cannot tell which
This-
is which.
I can
absent
tell
another one.
instantly. This is the small wheel, but it isn't a platinum. Regardless, it's probably a 4-wheel drive. But like, does it matter? I mean, this
No.
is the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, that's tough. I wonder how quick. Do you think the guy sold
Is
this?
this
car?
Carmel?
It has to be.
I
was
think
thinking
this is the beach at
I think
Carmel.
it is.
Yeah, I think this is the beach in Carmel, right at the
Down at
end
the bottom,
of Panorama
yeah, at the
Drive.
end, yeah. I think
Oh,
yes.
that's even more embarrassing. Imagine driving one of these around picturesque, serene, quiet Carmel.
I hope
Well,
someone
it's
yelled at
quiet.
him, go back to the bay.
That's so true. Oh,
Well, you
my
see both
God.
the wheels articulating and everything.
What did you think when you saw this video for the first time?
It was just now.
Really?
And
You
I,
really?
I don't
It's
trying
made their
to
own.
figure out how they got in that situation at all.
Well, they got in this situation because they thought this
That they
Cybertruck
do
could
it.
off-road.
And it does have like all-terrain tires, does it not?
Honestly, they're so dug out here. If they just took the air down, they would have
know,
gotten
they-
out.
They've been fine,
Exactly.
But they don't know that because they have a Cybertruck and they have no capacity
Right.
for understanding how to operate it in any
Right.
situation.
Meaningful manner. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Cybertruck getting pulled out by a Sienna. Ken, what
Love
are your
it.
thoughts when you see a Cybertruck these days on the road?
You know, I just kind of ignore it. Like I don't give people the satisfaction. If you have one at this point, like it just says a lot. You know, I do kind of get annoyed when passengers of mine go, "Look, it's a dumpster on wheels." It's like, yeah, we've already heard that. All the tropes are played out. It's just nothing. It's just
the tropes are even boring. The car is obviously boring. The tropes are even boring.
And it feels like bad to say that because it's like okay, you're really kicking them. Like we know, we get it. It's an unspoken thing at this stage,
right? The fact that article I read that said that 20% of new Cybertrucks were sold to one of Elon's own companies is just kind of that, and this picture just kind of sum up everything.
Also, 40% year-over-year drop.
40% drop.
It's 2025 versus 2024.
I mean, Ford has the ability to just cancel the Lightning and absorb those costs, and Tesla put actual company behind this ridiculous vehicle. They're canceling their SUV, they're canceling their sedan, but at least they got the dumpster on wheels. Am I right?
God.
Okay, well, we have to move on to our next Talk Cars story. Filippo, why don't you give it to us?
All right. We have an event coming up that I will personally be at. And I would like for you all to come too.
Okay, where is it?
All right, this event is going to be at the Larz Anderson Museum right outside Boston.
Oh, Boston. Great folks there. Good.
We're going to be on the East Coast. We're going to have something like 400 cars there, which is going to be our largest ever event.
Yeah.
The Larz Anderson meetup. If you go to the events page, we'll have a link in the bio too. You can get a ticket. It's a free ticket, but we need to kind of track that you're going to be there to know how many cool cars we'll have.
Tell Jeff to go.
So you don't have to register?
You do have to
Jeff,
register. There'll be a link at
Oh, got it, but it's free.
But it's free to go.
What kind of cars are registering? Who's there? Who's coming?
I'll be there.
It's a month away. There must be some people registering already. Who's coming?
There's all kinds of people. We're recording this too far in advance, man. I
Anybody
can't tell you
with-
the best cars.
Anybody with an Acura ADX coming?
I hope that they come with their other car.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it may be.
Larz-
I hope they bring a different one.
Larz is interesting because there are you can park kind of up top of those little parking lot down below. You can get
And
a
I
lot
will
of
be
cars
selecting the cars that are in the premiere.
You
part.
will be?
God, never mind. Don't go to this.
Oh man, it's gonna be. If
gonna
you
be
got a
Volvos.
base, if you got a base automatic C7, show up with this. He's gonna park 14 of them in a row. We got every color, guys.
First of all, they call it Stingray.
No, it's gonna be all. It's gonna be all Porsches. It's gonna be indistinguishable from any other automotive event. It's gonna be all 997s.
Brookline and Massachusetts in general has some cars that I'm into. If you have a manual C70 first gen, which exists, let me know.
Yeah.
I'll select that.
Yeah.
So Jeff, don't bring the 575. Luke,
No.
leave the M5 at home.
You're talking about a coupe.
Yeah, of course. There'll be legitimately a lot of really, really cool
Let me ask
cars.
you a question.
Make sure you register.
This is June 27th.
This is June
If you're
27th.
not going to it, who even are you?
Right.
You should go. Larz Anderson is such a.
Are you gonna be
great
there?
place. I wish I could. I
Why
would
don't you go?
absolutely.
What are you doing June 27th?
I got things. I don't need to go see the
Okay.
cars. Felipe.
We'll have a lot of
Great
people, a lot
event.
of cool
I'm
cars.
dead serious. Ask you a question. Dead serious.
Yeah.
What car would you dream would show up? Like you're sitting there doing the pointing.
Yeah.
You know. Because that's like his dream already, to be able to
Just
move
control
cars and control
But
things.
only way, yeah, exactly. The only way it can get better is if that he, just let me do it.
That is the only way.
That is
I'll say it to somebody.
Yeah. I would love a TZ3.
a TZ3, the
TZ3.
Viper version.
Yeah.
That's not. You're not into those. Admit that.
How do you know what that is?
How am I not into this?
Admit that what you
It's
want
an
to show
Italian
up.
design Viper.
You
It's a
want
good
an
combo.
Asuna Sunrunner.
Yeah. If you have an Asuda Sunrunner that's actually an Asuda Sunrunner, not a Geo Tracker, I
Can
will
it pull up
accept
an Asuna Sunrunner for us?
I
want
some help with the.
Asuna, ASU.
ASU, and the U has 2 dots over it. Okay, we call it an umlaut.
Umlaut. I know.
Okay, but I don't think you need it. It is a Geo Tracker.
Asuna, excuse me, it is a Geo Tracker. This is an Asuna Sunrunner.
GT.
I can't believe that you would say that you would denigrate the Asuna Sunrunner. Sean's sitting over here like, where is this going?
I'm wondering the same.
How are we only 15 minutes in and we're on the Asuna Sunrunner?
How did it take us this long to get here?
Kennan, are you wondering what the hell this is?
I know what the tracker is.
That's what
I'm
this is.
surprised. Yeah.
I'm dead serious. Okay, I'm going to tell this is a short story of the Asuna. Have you ever heard
Boys,
of-
it a short
Have you ever
story?
heard of the Asuna brand?
Not till today.
There were a few Asunas.
Were there really?
Yeah. Okay, here's what happened. Canada generally prefers smaller cars in the US. In general, Canada's a little bit more towards the European side of like littler cars. And so General Motors sensed that, and they decided that they would create a brand for Canada, only small cars, but they would call it Asuna and give it sort of a European flair, even though it was actually American cars rebadged from Japanese, because this started life as a Suzuki. And they tried to trick the Canadians, and the Canadians are savvy people. Alex Trebek. You can't fool.
Did Alex Trebek have a Suzuki Sunfire?
No, he didn't.
Asuna Sunfire?
He didn't have an Asuna Sunfire because he knew point blank that this was an embarrassing attempt to trick him into believing this was some European brand.
You want to know what? You got to get up pretty early in the morning to fool me there, bud.
Yep.
I have an important question for you. What was the Asuna Sunfire?
Pontiac Sunfire.
No.
Pontiac GT.
The Zuzu Impulse.
Pull up the Asuna Sunfire. I don't believe it. That was the Geo Storm.
The Sunfire.
No, the Impulse was the...
I mean, I wasn't a question.
Look at that. Yeah, click on that. Rebadged Isuzu Impulse. There's one. These are all just Isuzu. Oh, yeah, Asuna. There it is.
No, there was one that
with
wasn't.
the umlaut, baby.
What do you think the Asuna SE or the GT, depending on the
I
trim?
think that was the Pontiac... I don't remember. Le Mans?
Yes.
That little Korean-made Pontiac Le Mans?
Yep.
Boy, this was a horrible situation, and I'm so sorry that all of you have had to deal with it.
Fascinating.
Anyway.
So, Filippo, you're going to be at Larz Anderson.
Larz Anderson. Thanks for getting us back on track. Yeah,
We don't have the news.
on the
We gotta
27th.
get deep. We're getting deep today.
Come check it out. Come say hi to myself and a bunch of our team members, as we like to say. And bring your cool car to the Larz Anderson.
So here's what I suggest. First off, he said, come say hi to myself. So when you walk up to the Larz Anderson, walk up to people and say, hi, myself.
Yeah.
And then walk up to the other Cars and Bids people and say, hi, team member. What's your name? Are you part of the team?
I would love that.
How many cars do you
That sounds
expect
so
in
nice.
this thing?
We have space. We're going to cap it at 400.
400 cars?
Yeah, it's going to be a big event. It's going to be our largest ever event that we singularly are hosting.
So if you're number 401, tough luck.
Too bad.
Do you think a Ferrari 400 is going to come?
There was
I
one
hope
last
so.
time I was there. There was
Really?
a 550, which we sold on Cars and Bids actually later on.
Really?
Yeah, there's real stuff
Yeah.
that shows up. I think it was in a Friday when I was there.
If you're 401, I'm so sorry. I will have to kick out the Asuna Sunrunner for you. Assuming it's something.
I hope
If
the
an Asuna
Asuna
Sunrunner
Sunrunner.
shows up, you better take it.
I hope the entire Asuna Sunrunner club, which there isn't one, but I'm sure if there were one, they would show up.
No,
There's
they're legal
two
in the
guys in
US?
Calgary.
Because the car was federalized. But
I
do you
think
think that Asuna will provide a substantively similar
I
letter?
think that it's been 25 years. I think we've already got that
good
figured out.
point,
That's
good
already
point.
that's all passed.
Good point. You think any have survived Canada and New England?
That is, yeah.
It's like quite a combination.
No. There
Yeah.
are none of these that have survived anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, Larz Anderson, Filippo, thank you so much for
excited to
promoting
be there.
something. Love to hear that.
I did really well today, too.
He's going to promote this on every
That
pod
was
for the
tough.
next month. People, get ready.
Get ready, indeed.
Honestly,
Actually, I have sad news. I'm not on many podcasts in the next month
because you're going to Italy.
because I'm going to Italy.
But he's going to still promote the hell out of it. Folks, come
Yeah,
to the
for sure.
Larz Anderson Museum just to put him out of his misery. Just to be like, Filippo, I did
To be
it.
clear,
Don't bring a Glock.
kill me.
Don't kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Kennan,
I hear
tell
he
us-
paints houses.
Tell us about the 355 Revoluto.
Yes. So recently, we've talked about this car before.
Yeah.
Now, the 355 Revoluto has been, it doesn't even.
Revolutionary War.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I can't
Yeah.
spell
355 Revoluto.
Evoluto, yeah. It's the Evoluto.
The 355 Evoluto.
Now, I have two things that one,
What is it? Tell us what
so
it is.
this is a 355 resto mod that was created by this, I believe it's an English company. Ian Callum redid the.
Ever since Singer happened, there have been all these companies that have popped up.
Who turned the word singer into a verb.
Right.
They've singerized, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah,
singerized,
blah.
da, da, da.
They've tried to make Resto Mod new but old versions of, now it's like dozens of different cars.
In fact, I have an entire list on my phone dedicated to Porsche because there's so many companies that do this.
So
They pop
many.
up every day where they take some air-cooled 911, do some vague modifications to it, and charge $750,000 for it, and people pay it.
I will say, the more of these that pop up, the more I realize how hard it is to do what Singer does.
Yes.
Yes.
To do it well.
To do it well.
Because my criticism of this, now, I have a couple of things to say. One, the only one I had ever seen, and I saw it in person at Car Week, was the blue one.
Blue one.
Which is the one they did as the press image. But then I went to Motor Miami this year and I saw the red one. And I wonder if they're not the same car. Just painted.
Probably. I mean,
Okay, but regardless of that, what's
regardless
the problem
of that-
with it? They're Singerizing a 355. Sounds like a perfect situation. That car had a lot of
Because
problems.
You make it reliable,
You know
it's
what?
good.
Yes, it did have a lot of problems. You're right. And they solved A couple of them. They didn't.
that's great. That's good.
So they saw off like they changed the wiring harness. I think the engine does come out more easily. But I asked the engineers, it's like, did you guys, the car is no,
the engine doesn't have to come out anymore.
No, that's the thing. So that's the thing. I asked the engineers. I said, so did you guys consider a chain drive system or something like that? So you don't have to take the engine out, because other than catching on fire, that is one of the big issues it's known for. And they're like, oh, we looked into it, and now it's just too expensive. But we really did the design, and I'm like, well, look, in my view, now I haven't driven one, in fairness, but in my view, there are two things the 355 has to do. It has to look good and has to sound good. And they screwed with the way it looks. And I think they did a poor job.
I actually like how it looks, but I think
highly disagree.
a regular 355 looks so good. I don't think they've improved it for sure.
No, they took the logo off of the hook, which is weird.
Because they don't want to get sued by Ferrari.
But they kept the Ferrari logo. Well, I'm sure Ferrari is still going to, if they haven't already.
I don't think it looks bad.
I think it looks terrible.
Especially from the rear, I think it looks pretty cool. I think that adding the little strakes back there, like an F40, is pretty neat.
The F4, you mean? Oh,
or
yeah,
the 280
GTO.
GTO. Yeah, and like the rear lights, I think is cool. I don't think they've improved on the look of a 355. But I do think the key to singerizing a 355 is to change the stuff that
was bad. Yeah, and the style was
not.
The style was one of the things that did better than anything else.
You want to singerize a 355 well, you leave it looking exactly like it is, you just make it reliable.
Yeah, because if it could be reliable, which it probably can't. I mean, maybe they thought, it can't be reliable.
I think that's exactly what they thought. They thought, we can't actually make this good. We're going to...
My point of this is, so you have to provide them with a 355, and then they charge you, I think it's like $500,000 to do this, which is a tough sell.
Yeah. Go to that interior photo.
Oh, yeah, so the interior, so I learned... So
it looks okay.
So they put a spot in here for you to put your phone, which is kind of cool. But then there's no, like, I can't zoom in because thanks Google. But there's no wire, so it doesn't charge or anything. It's just sitting there. So if your battery starts to go down as you're using your mouse, which famously consumes a lot of power, that's tough. So at least there's some Italian flair to it still. But the other thing is the gauges. They famously are showing 20 miles an hour and still does that. Didn't change that. So it's like they still left some of the stuff.
They just wrapped it all in nice looking. There's a lot of
the point.
It's ironic because Singer is known for this, but I had an old Defender, and I think that this all got started in the Land Rover community.
I will agree with you.
I don't disagree.
There are all these companies that are trying to put lipstick on an old Defender, and it never works. And there are these rich guys who can't handle a real old Defender, who think that if they spend $300,000, it'll make it good. And they quickly discover that no, it's just a Defender with leather seats. It still ain't good. Yeah. And that's the situation.
Unless you put an LS1 in it, and then it's still mediocre, but at least reliable.
I think those cars still have problems, though. I think those guys still have issues. You got an aftermarket LS1, and then it's dealing with all this electronics, and it's the same situation. So why is this coming up now?
So because it really made the rounds with a lot of journalists the other week, and it has been everywhere. They clearly put a lot of effort behind this, in marketing the car and things. And the Top Gear review, which I can't, the video of it was amazing because they had a normal one next to it, and looking at them side by side, it's like, damn, that looks bad.
Did everybody say positive things?
Mostly, yes. It seemed that way. I think Farah I still haven't watched Farah's review on it. I need to, but he also had two because he could drive them back to back. The first guy on Top Gear, when they did this, it's like he admitted he'd never driven one, and then was driving this, and it's like, okay, well then your input's not valuable.
One thing that's interesting about journalists driving cars like this is that, of course they like it. It gives them an opportunity to be in something analog. A lot of these people have never spent time in analog cars, and so it's like, oh my God, this is analog. It's so cool. Well, that's how all cars were at one point.
Well, that was the whole. Because I had a long conversation with this engineer, and our friends stood around as I just grilled this guy because I owned one of these cars, and it's one of my favorite cars. And at the end, he said, we build this car to be an analog driving experience that you can go out and really enjoy and rev the engine and row through your own gears. And I said, so like the original? He went, exactly.
Yeah.
I think I would just get an original and service it really well and keep the other
700 Gs.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't disagree.
But I also just don't think Ferraris are akin to the singerized thing. I think the Ferrari market is a lot more about preservation. That's what people value. I think in the end, a lot of people look at this as just a modified 355.
Maybe. I think that doing it well with a 550 would be cool. Because that's a soft car. And I think that if you could make that car kind of cool. I wouldn't mess with much on the exterior. I actually like the idea of LED tails in the circles. I think that does modernize it a little bit.
Too big. The whole point of the car is not... you don't need a modern experience. If you improve the driving experience to make it feel more like a modern car, that's what I would
do with the 550.
I just wouldn't screw with the way it looks.
You know what I would do? 550 with some new suspension.
You know, that's
all.
doable.
That's all. That's it.
That's doable.
That's pretty doable, I think. Yeah,
I think we could make that happen.
Okay, I want to move on to our next conversation,
Yeah, please.
which is my Ford GT color swap.
All right, you texted about this, but I where's this coming from?
Kennan, what do you think about this idea?
Can you-
So here's my thought. Yeah, Ford GT. Pull up we sold the white one. Pull up that one. About 4 days ago, I saw a Ford GT on the street.
Yours?
No, some
Oh.
guy. It was red.
Okay.
And it hit me that I still prefer the lighter colors.
Specifically, you prefer
Really?
the white.
And personally, I have always, the Carrera GT, I now firmly believe that silver is the best color for that car, and I have zero regrets. The Countach, I think white, which a lot of people agree with.
Mm-hmm.
But this car, I've never fallen in love. The 993 Arena Red, this car, I've never fallen in love with my dark blue.
I can't
Yours is
believe
blue with white stripes.
I just don't like a dark color. It hides the lines, and the lines are cool. And the dark blue with white stripes cars are now selling for like $100,000 premium over white.
Really? Why?
Yeah, because it's like the old
Yeah, it's the
colors, like the
color.
Shelby colors,
When
the
it
American car racing colors, the Viper GTS, the Shelby Daytonas, the Shelby Cobra. You know,
And to be honest, it's the Jeremy Clarkson color.
it's the German
It
colors.
was on
like,
Top Gun.
it's kind of, and it was one of the press colors. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of
Yeah.
that kind of hype. But I'm honestly and truly starting to wonder if I should sell my car for what I think is about $500,000, 45,000 miles, and buy a low mile white car.
For the same price.
I honestly, I know it's not as prized by enthusiasts and collectors and all that. I just like it better. And at some point, isn't that the only thing that really
Get it
matters?
repainted.
Yeah, let me repaint.
The transaction cost will.
Transaction costs won't be
Even it
zero
out.
for sure.
No.
But
I don't know, if you want to go, I mean, either
restart the clock at 10,000 miles. So I get to go. I mean, the car's been bulletproof reliable. I don't have to do anything to it, but it'd be nice to restart the clock.
I guess.
Go through those same 10 to 35,000 miles again, or 45,000 miles
Isn't
again.
this like, you know, you live in your house for a long time and then you look at your neighbor's house and it's like, yeah, I always preferred their color. And then you swap houses with your neighbor. It just seems like an insane move to
I
get rid of it
just-
to get the same car, just in a different color.
I love the car. I still love the car. I still drive it the most. I just have never. I have had that car now for coming up on 8 years.
It's a long time.
And I have never loved the color, ever.
I'm so
Can I
shocked at
ask
that.
you a question? I don't see you drive the Ford GT that
I
often
know you claim
anymore.
to a lot. Well, actually, you know what? He sends a picture of him driving into tennis.
I often drive it to places I wouldn't. So the reason that you don't see it in the office that much is because I can get away with bringing the Carrera GT and the Countach to the office.
Yeah.
It's a really
See you in a
protected
993
environment.
often, but yeah.
Well, if I'm going to pick up the kids or something, I have 993. But the Ford GT, I'll drive. Like I drive the Ford GT, to tennis at least 2 days a week.
Got
The grocery store. Like I'll do the Ford
Solid
GT.
5 miles a week. Got
And I
it.
think
Okay.
you gotta have. It makes so much sense. You have to still have one. I understand what you're saying. Like it is such a
I
usable
love the car.
supercar. It is.
I love the car. I do drive it the most. From a mileage number of miles. I take it to Palm Springs when I'm filming a video out there. We drove it to. Well, that's 400, 500 miles round trip. What you ever do
Once
that?
a year. Yes.
Twice a year, maybe.
All right, yeah.
That's real. You know how many
Nobody else-
Ford GT owners
yeah.
are doing that?
No, it's
Zero.
real, but I guess I'm wondering whether you would just consider maybe it's time for a different experience.
There is
and you
no
could come back to
other
a white
car.
Ford GT later.
There is no other car at $500,000 that I prefer. None, not one.
It also just like we've had this discussion many times, but think about like what experience would replace that in the garage that would make sense. It's like there's nothing that is as iconic.
There is
delivers
no
that
other car.
experience.
Oh, I think it's patently insane to sell a car to get one of the same car,
I
different
agree.
color.
Well,
agree.
but there are some nice benefits to it. Resetting the mileage clock's a big deal. If I could sell it for 500 and buy another car for 500 and start again at 10,000 miles, that's a pretty cool trade.
But also,
that
yeah,
actually
but
the
also
awesome?
it actively
Yes.
will. So your theory is that the values will continue to rise, and as you put miles on, it won't matter. Is that the idea? Because I would think it would take a hit.
I'm not trying to be a jerk, but at this value level, I think they will continue to rise. But it's not. I'm not as obsessive about this car rising. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't think it'll ever be a $5 million car. And so going from 5 to 550 versus the other car going from 5 to 580, it's not.
Right. I just mean, if you bought one with 10,000 miles on it, I guess with 10,000 miles, you don't have to carry as much. If it were like a 4-mile car, then you'd.
I would and actually, I can't make that trade. The white cars with really low miles sell for more. But I think a white car with 12,000 miles, I would still want no Macintosh. Honestly, I prefer the base wheels too.
I know you do. I was at the David Lee thing, and there was a one with the BBSs and one with the base wheels next to one. And I'm like, God, I can't believe you'd ever like the base wheel.
The concept car had the base wheels.
That's why.
And
you
the
like
base wheels look more like old school muscle car wheels. This car has the base wheels.
Yeah.
They just look more like old school muscle car wheels to me. They're more correct for the car.
Yeah.
The Ford GT, which is kind of a brute car, shouldn't have BBSs. It's just wrong. You know, mentally, it's just wrong.
Yeah, but that looks right.
It does.
There's a reason they were popular.
Yeah, and on the used market, base wheels sell for $2,000. Oh, it's set, and BBSs sell for $25,000.
The market speaks loudly on that one. Okay, but fair enough. I don't know. I've come to appreciate your Ford. I think you've always
love
loved
the Ford GT.
You think it'd be
You're-
crazy to do this?
Yes.
I think it's insane.
Why?
Well, what about, couldn't you wrap the car and change the color?
Yeah, but I actually think that financially it may actually be cheaper to do what I'm talking about, and I would start the mileage clock over. Well, what's a new full color wrap? And I'd have to wrap the stripes.
Can I ask you a general question? Do you think that it would feel like? I think for a lot of people, the experiences that you've had in the car are what makes it.
Oh yeah, I don't have any of that.
Okay, I thought
emotional.
not. Great.
He's not emotional, but that's one thing. Most car enthusiasts are
double
emotional.
check.
Here, yeah, there's so many
clear,
contrarian things. You
I
think
also
those
don't.
wheels are better. You think that color combination is better. You also think you're not sentimental about cars
I
at all.
don't think that thinking that the color combo is better is actually that contrarian. I think that most people would agree that showing the lines is cooler. I think that the blue-white is more valuable for two reasons. Number one, because of the historic American racing color thing, and number two, because it's rarer.
Right.
But I don't necessarily think that. I think a lot of people would agree with me. Showing off the lines is cool. Red is the most popular color. There were a lot of people who wanted to show off the lines in red, and it's therefore the cheapest.
I do like the white with blue stripes. You would not be able to say that you've had it for 8 years, and that
I've
might
had Ford GT for 8. I've had two Ford GTs.
Yeah.
8 years.
I think it's insane because there's transaction. It's like moving down the block to like a slightly different house because you want a 10 square foot larger yard.
Let
That's
me
what I'm
blow
saying.
your mind here. Let's pretend there weren't any transaction costs. Let's just pretend there were none. Not that I'm advocating doing anything illicit.
Well, no, there's still some transaction costs. There's time, there's maintenance you need to put in to get it up to your standards. There's some amount of time and energy and money, even if it's not substantial.
There's
relative to
real
the purchase
value
price.
in taking a 45,000 mile odometer, though, and bring it back to 10,000 miles.
So even the 10,000 mile car has been maintained the way you would want it to be.
But it has. These cars have all been maintained well.
Yeah. Well, they're not, I mean,
If someone's out there.
In general, my approach is if it makes you happy, you should, you should
I also
do
just
that.
don't see, I mean, other than the mileage thing, I think is kind of a moot point. I don't see what benefit you personally gain
I like
from
the color.
driving one with lower mileage.
Oh, just that it restart. There's stuff that has worn and is wearing. The seats are wearing,
that's
etc.
age-related
I get it all
age,
back
yeah.
to the beginning.
Maybe having Noodles sit in it without any car cover on has something to do with that
Nah,
over
worth
the
it.
seats.
But I think that there's generally stuff in the car that is worn, that is wearing, that you start the clock on 10,000 mile car again. You come back with the billet A-arms again, which I had to lose because my grommets wore off and things like that. Like
Sure, but rubber components time out over that period of time as well.
I won't have Camillo's signature on it. I can hunt him down again.
I'm sure. Well, if you park it anywhere near him, he'll sign it.
I love Camillo.
I don't think it's. I mean, I think it's insane. But if it makes you happy, you should
If
do
you
it.
have a white blue and you want to trade for a blue white,
With 3 or 4 extra miles.
well, I think people would make this. I think if I did the whole thing, I could come out net zero. I think it would take me 3 months.
Yeah.
It would be a lot of work. I'd have to list mine, sell
That's
it.
my point,
I would
yeah.
probably want to buy a white one first to make sure that I actually had the white one before I sold the blue one, because I can't be Ford GT-less.
Came before you see this.
You understand.
I obviously, yeah.
Oh, we're both Ford GT-less over here.
Sean,
day.
you think I should do this? Okay, SEAN at carsandbids.com. If you got a white blue and you want to trade it for a blue white, let's have a conversation. My car's perfect. It's a 2-owner car. It's perfect. Always been in Southern California. Took one road trip to Utah.
I do think it would be sad to lose the color in your garage. All your cars are white or silver,
That's true.
except for the 993.
I got a 993 and another one of my Talk Cars segments today.
Oh my God, is it happening?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it.
You're gonna roll with it.
We're finding some of the cars that I had announced I was looking for. We're finding some of the cars.
Some of them might also be silver. We don't know.
I've been looking for an E55 station wagon, a 2000 or 2001 E55 station wagon. Rami, my God.
There aren't any
No, we got,
E212.
we got
did.
that one.
Wow.
But it's a 99.
It's a shame you don't remember this.
So it's a shame.
Rami, my automotive god, Inbound Motorsports Rami. We have found one. We
Wow.
have purchased it.
Whoa.
It's in Holland.
Whoa, you purchased it? It happened?
You know it as the Netherlands,
I do.
but
I know it as the tunnel.
to Kennan,
Oh, jeez. God. That's a horrible joke.
Thank you.
we got one of these. This isn't it. Mine's not a 99. I can't take these rocker panels.
This is such a questionable
do it.
podcast this week.
And we're going to install a third row because it doesn't have one. But we bought a third row
Wow.
that's coming in the mail. And
If
then
Nick Roshan can do it, so
we
can you.
found another one of the cars I was looking for. I don't think we should announce.
We should
that
announce
yet.
that one. Keep that one going.
Found another one of the cars I was looking for. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to tell all of you about these things until August
Yep.
because I'm personally not going to actually see the cars until then. So,
We're going to see them before you do. I suppose.
absolutely, you will. And you can give me your thoughts.
Oh, I will.
Kennan doesn't like any of my cars.
It's not true. The E55 is cool. I don't get it, but it's cool. I don't know why you need it. In
I
your
need a
life.
third row.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have any.
I need a third row. What do you mean? I don't have
worried?
a car.
Are you legitimately not worried that without the 4GT, like too many of your cars will be white? Like if the 4GT becomes white, are you not
I
worried that
think
that's
that
too
some
much
of the cars that I have purchased in this are not.
No,
are
obviously I'm
colorful.
aware, but it's still not that much color.
Yeah, it's disappointing. It's disappointing. I don't like red on the 4GT.
If only 2 of your 8 cars have a color that's not white or silver, that's not enough.
I think
there is something to that.
So the 4GT is helping you get to 3.8.
I agree. It's nice.
It's going to be up to me to get a car. In a
You
color.
can't complain though about the Countach being white. That's not like one of those like, oh, we didn't get in a
No,
color.
that's the
Like
correct color.
Countach is white. That's like a you know what I mean? Like that's it. That's correct. That's like how it's done.
And I am glad, in retrospect, that the Sequoia is white because I was next to a black TRD Pro Sequoia, and the camo shows way more.
It does. By
on
the way,
non-white.
it's ice cap. That's the color. Anyway, the point is we're finding some cars. Okay.
I'm excited for you.
And we're going to do a 4GT color.
Color stuff. You're gonna have 3 new vehicles, maybe more.
No, I'm not
In a-
doing the 4GT. Is
Yeah.
my guess.
Yeah, I
That won't actually happen.
I think that's honest.
But I do sit in my garage and I look at it and I think, why, if I don't like the color of this car, do I not just, it's worth way more. Why don't I just do the easy thing?
That's a reasonable point. You could make it the color that you want.
It's silly to not like the color.
I agree with you.
You know what?
I don't agree with that. I think that it is important to buy, as someone who didn't buy the car in the color that he wanted to.
Yeah, the 355 and your M5.
And my M5, that's 2. Now, because I wanted a Rosso Corsa when I bought this car. It looked like Rosso Corsa in the picture, so I didn't even think to ask. It's such a common color.
But so your point is that I should do it.
I think you should have done it originally and just
Yeah.
gotten the right color back then.
That's definitely a mistake. The problem I had was I couldn't really afford a 4GT when I bought it, or I could barely. So I had to buy a high mileage car, and there just
There aren't
cars.
any, yeah.
And these days, and at the time, there wasn't really a price delta for the colors. The Heritage were worth more, but otherwise there wasn't really a price change for the colors.
No.
And over time, the blue has really risen, and the yellow has fallen to the point where I can get away with this now. It'd be like driving a new 4GT again, a new old 4GT.
I just
I feel so ambivalent about this for you.
Okay, fine. Then let's discuss the other big talk cars segment. Kennan, tell us about M5 costs.
Yes. So
you read about
recently I put out a video on my car where I damaged it.
Yeah, we crashed
unfortunately.
into a parking brake.
I didn't crash it.
Sounds better.
Yeah, well, that's not what happened. I know you're a revisionist for history, but that's not what occurred here.
Yeah.
And everybody's actually very nice. The car is repaired. I did that throughout the video. And actually, I was very humbled. I was very grateful that so many people reached out. Thank you for all your sympathies. And a lot of people said, I was stunned. The number of people text me. It's like, I've done that. I've been in the
Same.
whatever. However, immediately, of course, as you might recall at the beginning of the year, I set out the goal of, yet again, not spending more than $2,000 on my M5. Well, this little incident.
But this doesn't count. I mean,
Is it okay not to count
Yes,
that? Because
yes,
I want to make sure with you guys and the rules that you're going to set.
well, we have a different opinion about this. Okay.
Okay.
If it was me, I would have replaced the minimum number of things. If it was my E55 wagon, I would have replaced just enough.
He would have
probably using zip
E320.
ties.
Yeah. He would have taken the front end from an E320. Would have been cheaper.
So the question I think is, how far beyond what you had to do did you do? That's when it starts to count against
I
you.
like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, the bumper was split in half. We can agree that I need to replace the
Need a bumper.
You
So
could've
that's
glued it.
$1,000 for that, for
Fender
just the
liners
bumper.
is a different conversation.
but that was the
I would
belly pan-
argue from looking at the photos that the fender liners probably didn't get damaged.
Well, the problem was where the metal on the two barbs on this thing I pulled over where it caught it ripped 3 components at one time in addition to the bumper. So it split the tabs off of the brake duct. It ripped the belly pan, which was attached to that, and that also attaches to the fender liner. It ripped that
What
off
could
as well.
super glue have done for you?
Or zip ties.
Or zip ties?
Not much, because it ripped off all the mounting points.
What could it
let
have
me-
done
let me
for Doug?
rephrase.
What could zip ties have done for me or Filippo?
Ask not what you can do for zip ties.
Like if I was doing it, keep in mind, I once zip tied a painted front bumper to a body of an Audi A4 that I had.
One time I
you
made
drove
a
it?
throttle
Oh, for
cable.
years.
For years.
We used a key hook for a throttle cable.
We one time, my throttle cable snapped and we used
worked,
a
you know?
keychain.
Yeah.
We
Well,
drove around for a whole
Well, no, that makes sense. That was that you needed to. You're on an
I
island.
personally would
There's
have left
nothing
it
you
that
can-
way. I think Doug considered it.
No, he had fixed it properly.
Yeah.
In the end,
Well, in the end, I only fixed it properly because I had like months where I wasn't with the car and it was at a mechanic and I was like, hey, why don't you just fix this? I would have driven on that keychain forever. Oh, but then, do you remember what also happened? We went to check on the keychain, holding the throttle cable together.
Stretched.
And we pulled the hood release and the hood release
broke.
cable snapped. That was Land Rover
was a problem.
ownership.
that's a
So we
quality
couldn't
of it.
check on it. So then I had to tell the guy, why don't you fix both these things?
So what's the answer to how much of this was discretionary, we'll say?
He's going to say 0. That was
Yeah.
discretionary. To him, it had to be done.
It had-
Probably 1,700 of it was discussed.
Of the total.
Okay, so you're
of
at
the total-
1,700, and then there's more maintenance necessary upcoming.
Yes, so I've driven the car a lot recently, which has been awesome. Genuinely hasn't given me a single issue. However, I did start to notice there are like a couple little things that are starting to creep up. One is like,
do we think we need to address the little things?
Yes.
Let me rephrase it in a different way. Do we think we need to address the little things?
well, one is a click coming from the front suspension, which I think that should be addressed. The other, what was the other thing?
Oh my God.
The exhaust. There's a crack that had formed around one of the welds near the kind of the catalytic converters, and that has since spread around the weld, so you can hear it when I start the car. It's a lot louder than it once was.
I have Phil Chung has a exhaust shop welder guy who will take care of that.
Yeah,
no disrespect, Phil. I take my E39 to one place for service, and that's
Is it
E39
E39
service.
source?
I would argue this is part of the problem
No,
with the costs.
Oh, we've gotten so off the rails.
so that needs to be welded because I can smell it. Like when I come up to a stop, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, it's like that's my
Jeez, he's
car.
polluting our state.
Polluting our state.
So exactly, and I don't want
It's gonna be a gross polluter.
Okay, so
those are like
those
the two,
things are going
those
to
are
get
the
done.
two
That's
things.
easy.
I don't think it's that bad. Really, other than that, it's like I can't find anything else wrong with
That's
the car.
great. So you're at like what, $3,000?
Yeah.
You're only at 50% above your budget for the year. 5 months in.
Yeah.
You're getting well.
I don't think it's that bad, but I do think those things should be.
No, it's not that bad.
It's not great. You're going to end up another $10,000 a year here.
No, we're not going to have another time.
I would rather us get a
Viper.
Viper and not have a $10,000 M5 year.
I don't think we're going to have a $10,000 M5 here.
Here's what you do. You
Would
get
think
this. You get this Subaru Sandbar
Yeah.
as a daily.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
It has wood paneling.
Like
maybe.
our friend Kevin, daily into the sense that I would drive it once on a day, and that would be my daily. I think it's very cute, but might be a bit much for me.
Okay. Well,
But somebody made the point recently that it's like, Kennan, I think you should get a Macan Turbo or this or that as a daily. And it's like, I still don't want to do that because I think that while I'm single and
You should
youngish.
drive a 4-door sedan. I agree.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly the point, though. My second car that I should buy should be, because I am a little weary of using the M5. But I think that having the second car should be a sports car. I should own more sports cars. And I still want a Viper, and I've found one, but I'm pausing just a little bit. But I have found one that I think is like
pausing. Press play.
nice. Well done.
What do you mean?
Well,
We all want you to get a Viper. The whole audience wants you to get a Viper. That Countach rug wants you to get a Viper. We're
It does.
ready.
It's talking
I
right
do.
now.
I am going to get one. You'll see. I am going to get one though. I am hot on the trail of one. So
I see a note here about an Aston Martin Vanquish.
I have this head
Where did
car. It's
that
going to be
come
after the Viper already.
What, the O2? You told me they're horrible to own.
Yeah. Well, I like cars that are bad to own.
Yeah, but that car's probably tough. Dude, I'll tell you something. I drove this one. It was so amazing.
Yeah, they are unbelievable to drive. That engine, that sonorous V12 sound that it makes is so
Did
good.
you enjoy driving it, Ryan Lopez?
Which one? Countach?
No,
I mean, it's a car. It's, he wasn't alive when this thing was made.
No,
so
he took those photos though.
He did.
You
but-
liked it? What about the trans?
Made it quirky.
Would you swap it?
Well, that's the thing. It's like I want an S. To be clear, I think that because I like the S a lot more.
Yeah, it just screwed up the wheels.
It was a big jump in power, though.
It was a big power jump.
Yeah.
It screwed up the wheels.
Well, I think if you're gonna do it, own the one you want, and I want an S. And I don't think the wheels are.
Own the
screwed
white
up.
one.
Put a base wheel on.
Yeah, put a base wheel.
Those
on.
they just did like DB9 wheels. Go back to to me the original Vanquish wheels meant business.
I don't think they're that different.
You know, I
To be completely
just read
honest.
this thing. I don't know where I read it. My friend Perry sent to me
look different
that
to you.
Pierce Brosnan got one of these after Die Another Day. He was
Yeah.
given one,
Yes, he
and then he lost it in a garage fire.
correct, but the fire department was able to dig out the kick plates, and it said it was made, for Pierce Brosnan. So you're saying that, and then at the end of the video, he goes, "And that's life."
Yeah, this would be cool.
But I think this is the
for
next car for me.
$35.40, this is cool
I just
as
think
hell.
Astons are such an incredible
And
value.
this is the Aston.
Yeah, this is the one because it's like this competed with the 575, and I love both
Oh
those
yeah,
cars. But I think
and honestly,
this
I prefer driving this.
For a third price.
Even Filippo would like this car.
I've never loved how the Vanquish looks.
He
Sorry.
doesn't even like this.
he doesn't.
Sorry.
I wish you liked something, Filippo, other than your 911, which I'm glad you like.
I got to tell you guys a story about. I got two stories for you actually. One is about Freddy.
Oh, Freddy Tavarish.
Freddy Tavarish. We had Hoovy on pod last week. God love Hoovy.
Love Hoovy.
We haven't recorded that pod yet. I hope it all works.
I
He may
assume
not
it's
have
good.
been on.
It's gonna be Hoovy and Nick. That's
gonna be something.
I'm gonna be the sane one.
It's gonna be something to watch.
Oh,
or it was something to watch.
I don't know. I'm just gonna have to moderate it.
Jeez.
But so anyway, so Hoovy's on the pod. Hoovy's been out here. Hoovy's hangs out with us. And I get a text yesterday from Freddy Tavarish, who I'm not going to say he's a chaotic person. I'll let you make that determination.
Yeah.
He sends me a text and he says, hey, I'm on a plane to San Diego. You around? And I'm like, Freddie, there was a time when I was 19 where my life worked that way. You could just send me a text and be like, yo, I'm coming, what's hang? But like I got kids, I do a lot of kids stuff in the school. We got a lot of video scheduling to keep here. We got a lot of crew. There's no like, hey man, let's chill. And I was like, that's not really how it works here. I'm so sorry. I would love to hang, but I just don't have time. Maybe a little bit more notice. Because I assume he didn't just get on the plane.
Right.
I assume he had booked the flights some amount of time
That's
before.
an assumption I would not make.
You think
If anybody shows up to the airport and buys a ticket, from the gate agent,
Freddie.
it's Freddie.
So I said, Freddie, I'm so sorry we're missing you. I would love to have you on a pod. I said, next time, give me more notice. And Freddie goes, how much more notice would you need? Like he's incredulous that I can't make this happen for him. And I said, Freddie, more notice than I'm on the plane. And he replies, but measured in days, what number would that be?
What did you reply?
I said, like, give me at least a week. I don't know. Like, that's what people do. Like, if I'm going to see somebody, I don't just call them and say, hey, I'm on the plane. I hope you can accommodate. I'm coming to see you in New York. Are you there? You text beforehand. Have you ever, in any moment since you became an adult, had a situation where you were flying on an airplane to visit someone and you hadn't yet informed them?
You think
Well, I
I
don't
would
think
have
his
done
whole
that?
purpose was come to just here to visit you.
No, of course, that's true. It was not his whole
Don't make it
purpose.
out
I'm
like
sure he has
that.
some things to do. I'm sure he has cruises to go on. But that's Freddy Tavarish. That's my Tavarish. And people who are wondering why we have Hoovy on the pod and not Freddy, Hoovy schedules us. It's still very difficult, okay? He won't text Sean back. He won't reply to our emails. I got to text him. It's a disaster. But we kind of narrow it. We get it down. And on the day of the pod, we just sort of roll the dice and hope he walks in at the right time.
Yeah.
But Freddy, it's not even that. We can't even get that. That's my
Don't
Freddy
you think
story.
that he might be in last week's podcast? Just
Freddie?
like he might show up.
Freddie might walk into the Hoovy pod. I have no idea.
It's like a beginning of a bad joke. Freddie, Hoovy, and Nick.
Freddie, Hoovy, and Nick
are
walk
on a
into the
podcast.
podcast. Our market report is brought to you by
Ryan Lopez.
Which is to say, we're going to talk about something completely different.
So, I want to talk F90 M5. Pull up that. That is tremendously interesting.
So we recently sold an F90 M5 for $29,250. Think
about
I
that.
will say it did have a lot of miles on it and had an accident in its past
but
and
that's-
modifications. But in my view, this is the floor now, because this is not an old car. It's 8 years old.
That's
now,
the example with high mileage and an accident that's going to hit the floor.
Yeah, hit the floor,
But
exactly.
dude, I remember
wild.
reviewing this when it was a new car at Crevier BMW in Orange County as a brand new with a 140 sticker.
Yeah.
It was the coolest thing anybody could imagine. The new M5 is here. It was all-wheel drive. It was this amazing. You could disconnect the all-wheel drive. Remember that? You could make it rear-wheel drive.
600 horsepower.
I can't believe, like, no car, I think, has made my career feel long to me.
More than
quite
this.
like
Yeah,
this. It's like, oh my God. Like, I've been around long enough to have, like, reviewed and now seen the depreciation on this thing.
Dude, I know. I mean, when I see C-Cars from 2015, that was a long time ago. I mean, it's, we're getting old, man. But I think unbelievable these cars are worth that.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
Especially when you consider
So much
it's,
car.
what was it? It was 600, someone crazy amount.
600 horsepower, right?
Yeah, 600 horsepower, yep.
Just an unbelievably fast. 600 is 550 pound
full
feet.
of cars that sold for more in the same day.
Yeah.
A 2015 automatic Chevy SS.
Oh,
An auto Chevy.
An auto Chevy SS was sold for
2015.
$4,000 more.
a 2015, so 4 years older.
For 13%
and
more.
a tip also.
And a tip. And it's selling for, I mean, that tells you how the market, how afraid of these cars the market is.
And maybe rightfully so. I don't know much about a
Such a
M5
beast, this
Evoluto.
car.
I know it's a
Such
monster.
A beast.
Yep.
And people are going to write it, Doug's hyping the market because they're unreliable. Probably they are unreliable. I don't know. It's $29,000 though. To me, when I see one of these on the road, I'm still like, wow, new M5. It's not even the new M5 anymore. There's a newer M5.
There's a newer M5.
I think that's an amazing find.
I think it's an incredible value. I really do.
You buying one?
No,
That
it's a
could be a
tip.
daily.
You just had a tip.
I did, and I guess what I did? I sold it.
You've had more tips this year than I have.
You own
You
three.
own 3.
I don't know who you is. I don't own any tips. What tips do I got?
Well, you're about to have a 4th.
What? What? Don't
hate to say
reveal
the Mer-
anything.
Mercedes-Benz, great traditional Mercedes-Benz. Unless you're going to manual swap it like crazy Nick, but
I'm not.
nah, I didn't think you would. But yeah, unbelievable value here. So cool. But
You think about one?
Oh, absolutely not. But it is
Philippe's
quite a
not
deal.
an M5 guy. He never
Can
cheat
I
on
say,
his wife.
a lot of the cars in the genre are quite substantial deals. We sold
I mean, the sedan, high-power sedans.
sedans and coupes, luxury sedans and coupes that are just
pull up that M850.
The M850 we sold.
Sean's out here looking for a M2. By the way,
AI.
if you have a
that
Long
one.
Beach blue M2 with some miles, maybe it's been hit, maybe it's got some bad wheels on it, no cats.
Yeah.
Sean at carsandbids.com, SEAN at carsandbids.com. That's what he's looking for. He doesn't know it yet, but what he wants to pay, that's what he's looking for. You agree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, he's not going to end up with one. I want to know what he ends up with.
Well, Felipe
should
just made the
consider-
point that for the same money as an M2, you could have this.
Which surely has a $100-something thousand MSRP.
Totally. And it's not the athletic,
7
it's not
years
the
later.
athlete that the M2 is,
No,
but
but it's
Sean's an appearance guy.
And
He
this
would
is-
like to ride around in this.
Yep.
Everybody thinks he's rich.
Or it
Yep.
looks like a Mustang.
And it has everything.
Side profile.
Looked like a luxury Mustang. That was the best thing about it.
Yeah, has
Right.
everything. You
Like
can
it.
also, if you want to be in the same price point, we sold an S63.
What's the horsepower on this M850?
It's serious, I believe.
523.
553
I'm
pounds.
not trying to make it seem like I'm hyping these cars and I want to kill everybody's financial situation. But how unreliable can it be? It's 6 years old. Seriously.
BMW just like, hold my beer.
I know. You're right. But like, really, it's 6 years old.
How many miles? 56,000
56,000,
miles. You got it.
How
man.
bad can that car be?
Right.
Truthfully. Are we talking major engine trouble at 6 years and 56,000 miles? I have a hard time
If it
believing
hasn't been tuned, like I wouldn't think so. I'd like to think a manufacturer that's been around for over 100 years can make an engine with all their experience made it
Especially
last more than
because
56,000.
this isn't like a high performance. You probably was driven pretty relaxed, you know.
right because it's the N.
It's the M60, yeah.
This is an M850. It's not like an M. It's not like an ultra high performance car. Like that M2 that Sean wants has been beat on, you know. But
Yep.
Yeah.
this car probably has been sort of chilled in.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. With occasional hard accelerations.
Can I pause it one more for Sean?
Yeah.
Look up
Please.
C43.
That's not. Sean has no interest in that.
Yeah,
Yeah, but if
Why
for
would you-
$23,000,
of course it has
Filippo,
that.
I'm going to tell you the difference between you and Sean.
it's a 4-second 0 to 60.
I'm going to tell you the difference between you and Sean.
385 horsepower.
You're a deal shopper.
Yeah.
You will change the entire thing you want to buy if it just means you can get a good deal.
Yes, but Sean is in a lurch right now. He needs a car, and he sent some wild
Sean
options
is selling.
to me.
I'll tell you what's happened. Sean
He's on
is selling
tilt.
his bad color G-Wagon.
Yeah.
And so because he's taken all the photos and cleaned it up and done all that, he can't drive it anymore. Because
Yeah.
if he crashes it at this point, it's a problem.
Yeah.
So his bad color G-Wagon is sitting in our office, and Sean has now realized he's left with a 360 and an old Alpha. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I need a car.
Does Is that why he showed up in the Lexus LS 430?
Yes,
Or the
SC430.
Yes, he's
Yes.
borrowed from his parents. He's borrowed a Lexus SC430
The man,
on dinner plates.
owns a Ferrari, a vintage Alfa Romeo, and a G-Wagon. He had to borrow a Lexus from his parents.
That's what's
is-
happening.
That's
It's
how
a
it
tough.
generally
That is
works.
motivation.
That's why he's lowballing people on Facebook Marketplace left and right with reckless abandon.
No,
he told us
he's
he insisted on a 4-seat car. He sent us a screenshot. He lowballed the guy on it with a C7.
He's no longer, he's like medium balling now. Because he's getting desperate.
He's getting
That's
the
how you know.
longer he drives that SC430, the desperater he'll get.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the F12. Pull that F12.
Let's talk
Yeah,
about that.
unbelievable result, I think.
Truly agreed.
So 2014, so first year of production, F12 Baronetta.
Ryan Lopez is eating.
I'm glad we're here for Ryan Lopez's entertainment.
I look over, he's just crunching.
Well, soon you're just gonna hear as he opens a cold one.
What's the problem? I don't understand. I went upstairs. The guy wasn't there.
The next day. But yeah, back to Ferraris. So this 14 F12, so F12 Baronetta, fantastic car. They've been coming up in value recently because I think the new Ferraris are so damn expensive.
Do you worry that we
Missed the boat.
missed the boat here?
I worry more about 599s, but yes.
But this car is better.
It is,
F12, yeah.
but
just-
it's the dual clutches. Like I would still prefer manual conversion.
I would prefer manual
Possibility it's not
conversion,
in this
for
car.
sure.
But the thing with this car, so it sold for $311,000 with 16,000 miles on and a vinyl wrap, which I was surprised because normally that brings quite a bit less usually, unless you have like pictures before and all that stuff.
I was.
But
very,
I think this number is strong.
The
for
most
one of these
recent
things.
comps that I was looking earlier are in the 230 to 250 range.
I really think that it is because the new 12 cilindri, sorry,
Beautiful car.
but it is expensive.
It's so
really
pricey.
expensive. The 812 also was very
Yep.
expensive, and they still.
They still are.
I think a lot of people who even like people who've been Ferrari customers for years can't justify spending what $600,000-$700,000 on a car after you've optioned it.
especially because this car offers basically the same
same-
performance
yep.
level. If we're being honest, I know the 12 cilindri is faster, but like not usably.
but
we're still talking 730
horsepower.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's a lot of power, and
And
with the
still a dual clutch, and
the
these are
interior
relatively
looks-
reliable. The interior looks fairly modern. I mean, I don't know.
And
I think it's a
you want
tremendous-
V12. Like for 300 something in Ferrari world, you get what, a 296 if you want newer. Like that's
you could
I guess
probably
light.
get a 296.
the last 296 we had was failed to be reserved, but was market correct at around 350.
Yeah.
345.
311 is, I don't know if the
Too low.
296 is quite
Maybe.
there, but in that range.
But this
Like, I would rather have a V12.
oh, of course, it's a V12. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a secret.
Most people wouldn't, to be clear. I mean, the V12s usually get depreciated like crazy, as most
Fair.
people go after the mid-engines.
But now,
Which I
at
think
this
is-
point, when all
This thing is so cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a lot of
Have
money.
we messed up here and not bought F12s when they were merely 200?
Look,
I
we've
thought
messed-
we would be able to sit and just watch the values continue to fall.
Not the case, it seems.
Apparently not.
Apparently
Maybe not. Maybe one car is not an outlier, or is not a market. But I do watch other Ferraris in the world, including the Scud. And Sean Stein's saying
Had
it.
ya? I know.
Finally gave it to him.
I know you did.
Including the Scud. And I watch these values and I'm like, wow. You see that MC12 sold for $10 million?
Yep. Maybe we just missed it all together.
The Ferrari, I mean, obviously an MC12 and an F12 isn't, but like, there seems to be a renewed interest in cars as an investment class, as a blue chip collectible.
Every supercar seems like it's really hot right now, especially not the newest. A generation old when it was still a little bit more analog than it is now.
I know, which,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
most
So
car
strong.
enthusiasts, admittedly, I do start to kind of roll my eyes and be like, God, everything's just getting so expensive, and like I feel priced out of
Yeah.
many cars I hoped to own
Yep.
one day. Challenge Stradale is my favorite example. I
You're
really
out.
wanted to own one of those, and now at $700,000, $800,000, that's not realistically not going to happen.
Yep.
Or,
would you-
even if I wouldn't spend that kind of
Yeah,
money on
nor
that
would you spend that
experience,
on a Challenge
I'd
Stradale.
get Sean's front and have most of the same experience.
And a Countach.
Or and a Countach, yeah.
Yeah, and a Countach, that's true. Can we talk about the 430 Scoot? Can we pull it up? Because it's still going to be live when this podcast goes out.
430 Scud. We got a
Good daddy,
430
yeah.
Scud up right now.
wow,
Very
look.
interested in this.
Sean vehicles.
Yeah.
But yeah.
He's a 430 man.
It's gonna be
He just happens to be the SC.
He's driving a 430 Spider around. What are we doing?
Sean's got a 430 Spider.
It's that or
just got,
BMW.
It's just got an acre of burl walnut in the dash. It's
rare-
slightly different. Yeah.
But it doesn't have sticky plastics. It's got old wood.
The SC430 and the F430 have the same size back seat.
That's
Pull up an SC430. You will never see a smaller. Pull up that car.
it is tiny.
Look at this. This is with the seats folded
that seems
forward.
spacious.
Give me a break.
Keep
please.
going. Look at that.
That does. You're right. That does seem special. If you're the size of an ant, that is a cavern.
I could not get
child.
my children back there, and my children are as small as possible for front facing.
Yeah.
It's literally impossible car to drive.
Right. Even if you wanted one, which you don't. you
Look at all that wood. Sean is experiencing this right now as we speak.
You
gonna
remember
love
driving those? Like the steering always felt like it was just like like steering through peanut
Radically
butter.
over. Yeah. Oh, God. And the car is so puffy and cloud-like, and there's so much wood. Go to the interior. The amount of this light wood, it's just an unbelievable.
It looks nice.
I think it looks perfect for the clientele. And never forget, as much as the tuner kids, the Ryan Lopez's over here are like, oh, the SC300 with the 2JZ, the SC430s are worth more. Boom.
Yep.
V8, baby.
Anywho, the 430 Scud is expensive.
Very.
But what's going to be interesting is we don't know how expensive because there has not been a public regular result.
There hasn't been
in
a public
year.
result in almost a
And
year.
bidding right now, which 2 weeks ago, is about where the last public result was.
That's right. That's right.
That tells you it's on its way.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. I'm very curious myself. I drove this car. It was an unbelievable experience. This car is absolutely incredible to drive. It is incredible to use. It is so much more aggressive than a regular F430. Steering precision, exhaust note, speed. It is so immediate, so raw, in a way that honestly I think none of the other sporty mid-engine cars are. Not the CS, not the Speciale, none of them. This is the most mechanical and the most raw of all of those cars. And we'll see where it ends up.
I felt the Sterale is still pretty raw.
The CS?
Yeah.
I'm not a CS guy.
I know you hate that car.
I don't hate it. I just think it's crazy what people spend. This car is better than the CS in literally every single way.
But they produced much more.
Not even that many. 1,700 of these versus 1,288 CSs. CS isn't even that much rarer. It's just a frog. You know what I'm saying?
I like the frog.
This car is cool.
It is cool. I'm glad. I've been telling people for years to buy them. I also told people for years to buy 458 Speciale coupes because I knew that they were going to go up in value, and I was right there too. But I think that it is just
car,
like
F12.
I'm so curious to see where it ends up. Yeah. Oh
All
man, that's a garage.
all the good Ferraris are definitely not quite as low as they once were.
Even my beloved F355, this Spider with 25,000 miles
It
on sold
makes
for
me wonder.
143.5.
Because there was a time when we were kids where like a ratty 308, 348, 355, they were all pretty much available for 30 to 60 grand, like ratty ones.
Yep.
Even kind of average ones.
Yeah, it's 308 GTSI, so the two valves. Still about that, yeah.
But like, it does make me wonder. I always thought that would just happen to the other Ferraris eventually, the 360 and 430s. But what has happened instead is there seems to be this tide that has risen that has literally lifted all of the Ferraris. As the really crazy ones have gone up, so too have all the other ones. And it's like maybe the days of a ratty 60K Ferrari is just never going to happen again.
I have been thinking about this a lot since January when all of those cars sold the Bachmann collection, because the big Ferraris, the supercars, all went up in value. So then people bought the limited edition V12s.
Yep.
Those went up. So people are buying the stripped out, limited edition ish V8s. So what's next? It's like yes, all values have risen. I think the manual ones will catch fire yet again.
Yeah, I think that
factory
what's next is anything next that's rare. The factory manuals,
But then after that, you end up with the normal production stuff. And then, yes, that could go. So I wonder, do you think that people are I'm not just saying this one because I have one live right now, but do you think that people are going to start to look at the lightweight Lamborghinis or like different brands?
You know what? My garage is full of cars that don't say Ferrari on them, and
Yep.
I've not bought my cars to invest. I'm cool with it, but I have watched in a little bit of annoyance as the Ferrari brand name continues to be the defining characteristic of what seems to attract buyers to a lot of these cars, where Lamborghini, the Countach is cooler than any Ferrari that has ever been made, except maybe the F40.
F50?
Cooler?
I don't know.
But regardless, like the Countach is incredibly cool.
I'll tell you about in pop culture, maybe.
If the Countach was a Ferrari, it'd be a $10 million car. It's a Lambo, it's $5 something. And I think that is just sort of a reality that is the truth. And I wished it would change. And the Porsches have changed a little bit. but the Ferraris just seem to be the thing that commands the money. And I will also say one other thing. As Ferrari becomes a brand that makes more and more and more and more cars, regular production 599 is a rare car. Regular production 550 with 3,000 units, 3,000 units is an afternoon of pure Sangways.
Rarer than a 300 SL.
Rarer than the 300 SL. But like you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
Like
Damn,
a regular production modern Ferrari is a rare car by standards of today's Ferrari. And so there hasn't really been a market equivalent of this to see how these cars are going to fare in the used market. I wouldn't be surprised if one day all those cars are really expensive. Just like back in the day, a 250 PF was a normal car. That was a regular production Ferrari. And now it's an expensive, or at some point it was an expensive car.
It's still not by Ferrari standards.
You get my point.
I get you.
I think the regular production cars of our youth will become incredibly valuable as Ferrari becomes more commercialized, higher production, more sanitized, electric vehicles designed by the Apple guy. Like a 599 suddenly becomes a pretty attractive proposition if you want to get into the old stuff.
I have to have a Viper Max, but do you think it's just get a Ferrari after
Get
that?
a Ferrari. Get a 599, dude.
I do want a 599.
Get a tip 599 and spend a lot of money every time it breaks.
Yep.
You can't see it. You can't look at those cars. and
I
not
do
spend
wonder
10
about
grand.
Lambos, like a Gallardo Superleggera. Like,
Though
will
that's
go
the
up?
one that in my mind
I think it
stands
has to at least.
I don't. I completely disagree.
I'm not saying fly through the moon, but
I think that I've been sitting here waiting for Lambos to pop for so long, and they never have. A Miura at $3 million is like the all-time ceiling for any Lamborghini ever, and that's only $3 million, and it's the father of the supercar. Like it was the first supercar ever. It was Gandini's first real design. It was the first mid-engine production, and it's like, and the Countach invented the wedge shape, the first car with scissor doors, and both of those cars languish at Miura's at $2 million, Countach is at 600, and they're buyable there all day long.
That's true, but the appreciation on the Countach, because Farrah bought his the same time you bought your Ford GT.
Still, it's a 600 car, whereas an Enzo is a 10 million car. Enzos were 600 in 03.
Well, for an afternoon, they were 1.2 immediately.
All right, I want to move on to the questions. The questions, of course, are sponsored by.
can I suggest a sponsor?
Yeah,
Carsandbids.com.
Oh yeah, Cars and Bids.
That one.
There's an app.
Cars and Bids.
Is there one coming?
There's also an Android app.
There is
out
an
in
Android
testing
app.
right now.
Woo!
Folks,
I don't
we're
use
doing an
Android, but
Android
still.
app.
That's amazing.
We're doing an
testable.
Android app. Take that, bring the trailer. Do they have an Android app? Oh, they already have one. Forget it.
Cut that.
All right. I want to move on to questions. And we got a lot of questions because this was supposed to be a more questioning pod. But you know what? We ended up talking about other
Talked
stuff.
so long.
I still have great questions. First question from Dacky P. Kennan, you got to answer for it. What happened to your hair on the podcast 2 weeks ago?
I have a lot of hair. My hair is very thick and it grows very fast, and I wanted to try something different, so I did. And I got a lot of attention, way more than I was expecting it to. It's just hair, for God's sake.
Just hair.
Like
I walked in that day and I said, Kennan.
Well, nobody
I
tries anything different.
I took one look at him and I said, Kennan, you can't have your hair.
Which
look
again,
like that.
getting style criticism from a man so stylish
I
is truly
don't care.
crushing.
It wasn't about me. I just knew the comments would be endless, and literally every comment. People couldn't even get into Filippo's brilliant takes because they were so
Sadly,
consumed
all
by the
because of the
hair.
hair.
Well, they're welcome.
In a way, it was actually a good
It was a
thing.
good thing. You're welcome for all the comments and the extra engagement on that one, Sean.
Next question. This is a real question, and I think a good one, and I want you both to atone.
And to be clear,
Look me in the face when I ask you this question.
Okay.
From Siberian Motor Wagon. I've been making this point in our group for the last week or so in our group chat, and I've been very, very vocal about it. And now someone happens to ask the same question. How come the only non-German cars in your friend group are a Ford sports car and a Toyota truck?
Hey, now.
What happened to the other cars? Is Kennan looking for the most American car they're in? But
I am.
Filippo's
I'm
got
gonna do
this Mercedes. You know what?
I have a 1973 Ford truck.
You know what's
Okay.
funny about this Ford truck? Every time I'm at his house, the tires on this truck are 25 years old. And every time I'm at his house, I'm like, Filippo, you got to get these tires changed. He goes, it's not my truck. It's my wife's truck. It's not my truck. It's not my, I'm not doing, I'm letting her decide on the tires. And now Filippo gets called out for having only German cars. He goes, I got a truck. I got a truck.
Fair point. Hard to argue that one.
it's impossible to argue that.
I am the only person. Let me tell you the answer to this question, because only I have a full appreciation
You own
of the
8
automobile.
cars.
Exactly. And what do I got? I got a Toyota. I got another non-European car coming.
Yeah.
You know what I gotta say?
I got the Ford GT.
I was gonna say if we were in your financial position, we'd do different. But to be honest with you, that's not European.
You
You buy more
wouldn't.
European cars
You wouldn't.
because
would.
you guys. This is the
The
difference
car
between
I've
you.
owned the longest is an American car. I don't own it anymore, and I haven't in years, but it's the car I've owned the longest.
You
period.
guys have these narrow worldviews. He's got a GTI, an E station
That's not-
wagon, a
that's not
911,
enti-
3 German.
Great cars.
You have German everywhere. SL65 German, M5 German. You have that Ferrari European. The
gonna
rest
have
of the
a vi-
world is out there.
But I will say, my appreciation has expanded tremendously. I've done 2 films, both on American cars recently. Well, a third was the Lamborghini, but we'll ignore that European car. But I did the Ford Daytona Coupe, which we sold.
Yeah.
And absolutely loved that car. Absolutely adored it. And then I did the Ford Mustang Mach 1. Thought that car was cool as
Yep.
hell.
Video's
I have
up now.
appreciation for American cars, and so I really want to own. And I will own one.
A lot of people out here saying, first off, have some respect for your own country.
Italy?
I love,
It can be Italy. You don't have an Italian car either. I'll let you have Italy.
he did have that 500A bar.
I did, yeah. So
This-
like 3 months ago.
you know what upsets me?
Yeah, wait, what is it? I guess
You know
it's
what
still
upsets
European,
me?
but still.
You know what upsets
Well,
me
that's
about you
also built in
specifically?
Mexico, so like,
What upsets me about you specifically, America took you in.
yeah.
When you were at your lowest,
Yeah.
you were a poor child washed
Yeah.
up on the shore on
Yeah.
a beach in North Carolina. We don't often tell this story, but I'm going to tell it today. He washed up on the beach. He was in a sack. He was in a grocery bag.
Yeah.
From
Yeah, you'll get there. You'll find an Italian grocery chain sooner or later. I want to see which one comes up first. Google search.
a grocery bag from Eurospin.
Oh wow. Okay. A discount grocer. Nice.
And he washed up going, Mama. And you know who his mama was? America.
That's true.
And what? And you,
Every
what
part
do
of
you
that.
repay us? What do you do?
I owned a Ford Focus built in America for years. 6 years.
I think that this is a legitimate question. And beyond, by the way, this group, Nick has only a Mercedes station wagon, a Mercedes SLR. His wife has a Cayenne. That's 3 Germans. Plus, he has his Land Rover, which is British,
Yeah,
European.
but Nick has always been, but his first car was a Ford.
He's Euro. Our buddy Sam is a Boxster of some
And-
variety.
and-
he's Euro as hell.
He has a
Sam had
Rivian
Jeeps and
built
had, I
in
think-
America, Normal, Illinois.
Yeah, but the point is, we all had things, okay? And then when we got some money and we got some taste, we all bought European.
Sam
Not Doug.
actively has an American car.
You don't have.
It's true, he
You
does.
and his
So we
wife
keep
has a
going.
German car. There's Germans everywhere. You guys are Euro trash.
We are.
You don't have a little bit of desire to say, "Hey, to
I do.
America."
I'm going to own the most bare-chested American car there
The
is.
difference between going to own and will own is the difference between I'm keeping my GTI and I'm going to sell my GTI.
I set a course and I stick to it. I make
I'm
things happen.
waiting. We're all sitting here. Siberian Motor Wagon is sitting here waiting for you to fly a flag.
Well, I will, and when it happens, I will wear an American flag when I have my Viper,
You know-
and you'll see.
Interesting. There are a lot of cars in this office. A lot
all
of cars in the
Europe.
office.
I can't
there
see
are
a
2 American cars in this office.
Actually, from my standpoint, I can't sing a single American car.
And
They're
2
all
is really kind of stretching. Are there
Italian,
There's a
Japanese,
WS6,
Japanese,
And
Italian.
there's a Chevy Sprint Turbo around the corner.
In all honesty,
Right, it's
I
there.
am. In all honesty,
Oh, there's a Corvette.
Generally speaking, the only member of our group who's really interested in all of the countries
I
in the
don't
cars.
think that's true. At this moment, I happen to own 3 German cars. I don't understand how that's happened. I need to correct that.
My
But
car
I am
list
generally
is
into the cars.
is pretty comprehensive. I've owned every country: Volvo, Audi, Volkswagen, Toyota, Ford, BMW, Lotus, Cadillac. You ever have a Cadillac? I had 2. AM General.
I've
thank
owned-
you very much.
I've owned
Dodge.
fewer cars, but I think you will agree that
we didn't have that little tax incentive from state of Georgia that you did, where you could just cycle cars.
Yeah.
every
You could
couple
lie
weeks.
on the forms like everybody else.
You're advising that people.
Oh, we can't lie.
We don't do
can't
that.
lie on the forms. My
I
bad.
don't do that, to be clear. I think that you should accept that I also have an equal love of all kinds of cars, even if I don't own them.
No, I think once you got a little money and
That's
started
all-
buying
that's not
cool
true.
cars, they were all Europe. All
I-
your cars before were BS cars that you didn't care about.
You know what?
My Ford Focus
Suddenly
hatchback.
you start to be able
SE
to.
Sport.
That car's long gone.
4 years.
I will. If you look at the list of
5
cars,
years.
I have a list on my phone of every car I've ever driven my entire life. I will drive anything.
Yeah.
But when it comes to committing to own,
Yeah,
it's like there
there you
are
go. Once
tastes
is
that I
zero.
like.
No, it was by habit. There were
does-
no wagons that were
I just
accessible.
happened to fall into €3 cars.
I like what I like. What's wrong with that?
I am the only person who has a whole love of cars.
If I buy a C7 Corvette, will you stop on this train?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say,
bow down to you. I don't know what
dead serious, I am proud to drive the Ford GT every time I drive it, in part because it's American. That car is designed in America, by an American, built in America, and that is
Hey, so is your Courier GT, sort of.
Hell yeah. We're going to have Jason Hill, the designer of the Courier GT, on this podcast. He doesn't know it yet. I haven't told him, but I'm now connected to him on Instagram.
Wow.
Oh, I would like to own more sports cars, and I'm taking that advice. That's why I'm not buying a Macan, and I will own more.
I'm sorry, were you
stuff.
speaking German or just speaking? I couldn't hear you.
You know, a very funny man making
Okay.
fun of Germany. Can't believe it.
Okay, next question. Next question. This is a good question. From Plausibly. Hey, fellows, what podcasts are you listening to? Filippo, tell us about your listening
Yeah,
experience.
I don't listen to that many podcasts, but I listen to some like news-related podcasts
Like what?
and tech-related podcasts.
Okay, like what? Tell
I'd
us.
rather not get into it.
Filippo, tell us.
I will say I do love MKBHD's Waveform podcast as one of my tech ones. Shout out to Marquez Brownlee.
Filippo, tell us
Trying to like solicit some favors here from.
Tell us about the podcast that you listen to.
How much NPR does he?
There's a fair amount of NPR, yeah.
Yeah.
They have some good podcasts,
Filippo, I want.
but it's not exclusively NPR.
When do you listen to it? I'm curious.
When I walk the dog, or when I'm on a really long
I
drive.
always wondered what you're listening to
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you walk.
I don't listen to music that often.
You
Doug
don't-
is in the top 1% of Spotify listeners worldwide. I'm not.
You're
I
not
don't-
gonna,
yeah, I
you're
don't-
not going to admit here to listening to hardcore left-wing podcasts. You're not going to admit that.
That's not how I would describe them. I listen to more podcasts and more genres than you might expect.
That's good.
Oh my God. All right, let's do three more questions. From J.M. Etheridge. By the way, I don't listen to any podcast. Kennan, do you?
Yeah, I do.
What do you listen to?
MSSP, Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. Shout out to the dogs.
Just happened.
Everybody who listens to that, everybody knows. I love Matt and I love Matt and Shane.
What,
They're awesome.
what do you think this is? Filippo, what do you think this is?
Shane
It's
Gillis and
Shane
Matt.
Gillis, the comedian. He and Matt, they both did a great podcast. Listen to that all the time. I also listen to Smoking Tire. Love Matt Farah. Always have listened to Smoking Tire. Still my favorite automotive podcast. No offense to you two.
I'm a little offended.
and I also listen to a lot of stuff. Houdinky Radio. Listen to them, of course, for watch stuff and a bunch of others too.
I listen to none. I don't listen to music.
Yeah, I do know that.
Speaking of, there's a question here. What is the best song to listen to while driving during the day? What is the best song to listen to while driving at night? I'm going to tell you the only song I listen to is called Standing Still by a band called Buddha Head. It's the only I listen to it
I
on
haven't heard
repeat
that one from you yet.
over and over and
Is
over,
it slow?
and
Is that
over
the song?
again.
Depressing?
That's the only song I listen to, night and day.
Is that the summer song?
No, it's from like 20 years ago. You can have it if you want.
But like,
Is it slow?
what is
I'm
going to be
giving you
the
the
song
song.
of the summer?
You got it. Call me maybe. We need a Call Me Maybe.
No, but you always have a song of the summer that you play.
I know we need a
relentlessly.
Call Me. It needs to be poppy and fun.
Virginia don't
I'm
sound like she
giving
used
you
to.
this
Virginia,
song,
those songs she used to.
Standing Still by Buddha Head. You go listen to it. You get Filippo. You go listen to it instead of listening for once. Instead of listening to Rachel Maddow,
Wow.
it's right there on Spotify. That's this song. Okay.
Yeah.
Two more actual questions. Kyle KP, are there any car manufacturers that you think will follow in the footsteps of Spirit Airlines within the next 5 years or less?
And that they will go bankrupt.
Or just disappear and people have to fly around repossessing
Yeah,
their
probably.
airplanes?
Somehow Infinity.
I got to assume
First one that
Infinity.
comes to mind.
Infinity just rolled out the QX65.
I know.
There's a bunch of automakers that are constantly in trouble. Aston Martin, because Lotus, McLaren, honestly, is constantly in trouble.
The thing is, an automaker,
Jag may disappear.
an automaker with a really strong brand name is never going to go away. So Saab went away because it didn't have a strong brand name. Aston Martin is always there's always
There's
going to
always
be
some
someone.
value in it. I also the real answer is that there's going to be a lot of. By the way, there are a lot that have been smaller scale. Lordstown Motors was around for a brief moment. There's other ones like that.
Tell me about a real. If you were to place your bets on a real automaker,
that I think the next few years will truly go out of business.
yeah,
and fully collapse. A lot will form.
I don't know
like,
about
joint
collapse,
partnerships.
but just like the brand is gone. What do you got? Kennan, think on it too. In the U.S. market.
And the U.S. markets are, I think, probably half of the manufacturers in China will go bankrupt. in the
Yeah,
next
for
5 years.
sure.
Yeah.
But U.S. market. Hit me in the U.S. Who's leaving? Who's leaving? Why can't you immediately answer? I got two
Cars
right
is-
off the bat.
Well, if Lotus actually does the thing they say they're gonna do, they get rid of the V6 and like that's not around anymore. That seems pretty.
I
likely.
think either Alpha or Maserati.
Alpha definitely. Maserati was the other one.
They have strong brand names, but
No
I don't
way
think,
Maserati.
I don't think that's Stellantis
The
has
answer
the
is
willpower to it.
Mitsubishi and Infiniti are both going away. They are both going
Yeah,
away.
Mitsubishi's probably right.
I'm breaking the news right here. Mitsubishi Motors is done in the U.S. Boy, when you go on Mitsubishi.cars.com, the only car they're offering is the Outlander.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, and the Eclipse Cross.
And the Eclipse Cross, but that's been true for a while, and at least there is a new Outlander. And a refresh one coming, if memory serves.
Based on the Rogue, right?
Correct.
Well, this is all
But
going
then
to go
you
great.
remember, of course, that the Rogue hybrid is based on the
On
Outlander.
the Outlander,
Right.
yeah. No, I think that
Mitsubishi's a good guess.
Mitsubishi and Infiniti, they're circling the drain.
It depends on how Nissan plans to do it. I think they will want a luxury brand, and so they may keep it alive, even though they
I
should.
just don't know. You know, it's interesting. When all the Japanese brands launched luxury brands in the late 80s and early 90s, they did it because they saw the enormous amount of money
Yeah.
that the Germans were making. And it hasn't gone well for any of them.
Lexus has done okay.
Lexus has been great. Infiniti has been pretty much a disaster after year 3. Acura never really took off like I think they were hoping it would. It always sort of lived in this budget space, which was never going to be as profitable. And, you know, Mazda tried to do it too. They had this brand they were going to launch called Amati. That was the 929 was going to be that. And they never even got it off the ground.
I'm going to add one to that, not to the list of luxury makers, but that might truly be gone in 5 years. Lucid. Lucid has taken back all the predictions on production this year. They've like fully removed their guidance and said, we don't know how many cars we're going to make.
Have you watched what happened with Live Golf?
Yeah.
Do you know about this?
Yes.
The Saudis came in and tried to bribe. Is that a term we can use?
Yeah, I think it's the most correct
I can't go to
one.
Jeddah anymore, but they tried to bribe all the
Shame.
all the golfers from the PGA Tour to come over to this new
Pretty
golf.
successfully, actually.
And it worked because they had zillions of dollars. They were going to start their own golf tour. But you saw what happened recently.
They have shut down.
They're shutting down.
abruptly.
They've stopped paying the golfers. It's all over. And so you sit here thinking, oh, the Middle Easterners have all this money. They can bankroll stuff forever. Well, we'll see how long forever lasts. And Lucid may indeed find out.
Especially because fundamentally the Saudi government is having some money troubles by not being able to export their oil currently. It may have an impact on where they decide to place bets. And I could imagine Lucid running out of money.
We got oil problems.
Oh, by the way,
fill your car
VinFast
for
is still around.
I did.
Yeah, what's VinFast?
I don't know.
They were on this huge kick. They were trying to get me every VinFast ever made. They sent me a blanket one year, which I still use. And by the way, as a result, I am a shill for their company. They make the best cars in the world.
Make pretty decent blankets.
blankets are amazing.
There's a VinFast store at the mall here in San Diego.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with this. They have had a VF9 in the showroom for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Not for sale.
Not for well, they get
Still not
selling
for sale.
other ones. But so, what's the deal with that? Are they still doing it?
Apparently the VF7's coming soon.
Okay, last question.
Okay.
From Crossy with a K.
Ooh.
Hey, Doug, the podcast was one of the best parts of my Fridays. How lovely. Sean, you hear that?
It's very kind.
But I think it would be even better with more regular outside guests included.
Good news last week.
These people don't like, Sean, you hear that they don't like Kennan and Filippo.
I can't blame them.
What are some of, or maybe me.
Right.
Fine too. What are some of your most desired guests to have on the pod?
Well, Tyler Hoover, obviously.
Here's the problem with guests. 2 things. Number one, Farrah has guests on his pod, and he tells us the pods with guests always do worse than the pods with the crew.
Yeah.
Because people don't, they see the guest name and they don't want to hear from that guest, so they just don't watch that pod. Whereas if it's just the guys, they'll tune in. Mm-hmm. Number 2, in order to have the sort of jovial, enjoyable experience that we all have, it has to be someone that we are comfortable with.
Right. Or in our case, if Doug wants to tear into us and make fun of us, it wants to be someone he knows, not someone he's not familiar with.
Yeah, like Hoovy.
Right.
Right, Hoover, you can ask him.
Right. You're gonna ask him some tough questions, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see him squirm.
Didn't we get into like his marital status last
100%.
time and all that?
Yeah, I'm sure the taxes will come up.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
At least he filed an extension this year. Smart.
So the answer is, like if we had Whistling on, I feel like I'd be like Camisa was here, and I felt like nervous a little. Like Camisa's an automotive icon.
Yeah.
And I was like not really sure how to, it's not the same energy.
Right.
So who do I want on? Number one, most desired guest, Ryan Lopez.
Oh.
Wow.
He could answer for the air conditioning incident. He could answer for the picking the guy up upstairs incident.
He's got a lot of other ones to answer for.
Filippo came in today. He said Ryan Lopez booked a meeting, and he was on an airplane for the meeting.
Yep.
And Ryan said, well, what's the problem? Filippo said, well, did you take the meeting? Ryan said, I couldn't take the meeting. I was on an airplane. Filippo said, well, why did you book the meeting?
I was there.
It's like Freddie. He and Freddie were probably on the same flight. They wandered under. They got on the flight. Boom.
I didn't know it was going to be on a flight. Didn't know if it was going to
Didn't
land.
have any idea it was going to be on a plane. How do you calculate how long it's going to take? I don't know.
I did say yes to the meeting, though.
Ryan Lopez is my number one guest that I want on the pod.
Yep.
And I think we're going to have
It
that
is quite
soon.
doable.
It's pretty doable. He's sitting there.
He's right there. He's listening to all of this.
Bring his chips right into the studio.
Yep. And we do have pretty good AC, so he'll be.
We got good AC in the office.
Sleep well.
Sleep. Who else? Who do you want, Kennan?
Well, I'd love Matt to come out. I'd love Matt Farah to come out. Yeah.
He's been on
the very
live
first
now.
live we ever did,
Yep.
which
Farah
started
was
this whole thing, was with Matt
here.
Farah.
The problem is it's hard to also...
Actually, Zach Clapman. Zach is so funny. I love both of them would be great.
Zach Clapman is the funniest guy in the car biz.
It makes sense. He does stand up. Like he's a comedy writer. He is so funny, and I love him.
You want Zach Clapman?
I would love to have.
We could also-
Sean, make it happen.
I think we could also have a fun experience. It
agree.
wouldn't feel like overbearing or like, oh, well, what do we
No.
say to this person?
Zach
Do we
is
have to
like-
ask them if they want coffee? Like, you can just like have them like they're one of your friends.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you?
I want Nick Roshan's wife. I need somebody to explain
Oh my
for
God. A special pod with
I love
Nick's
her.
wife.
That would be. You know what? Actually, Nick
No,
and
obviously
his
I know
wife.
her well.
I actually do second this. I think that would be
That
amazing.
would be amazing.
You
Nick's
just
wife
play
come on.
her clips of what Nick has says that we cut, and then have her react.
Answer for this.
Yes. So Nick's wife. I won't say her name. Prepare her.
Don't you think it would be amazing to get some real insider like?
Yeah.
I
Okay,
would
so
love
what?
that.
What's the like? Is this go on even at home? Do you know about all this stuff?
She is the most patient woman on the planet
Gotta
because
be.
Nick is so crazy. I can't imagine.
Gotta be.
Gotta
Yeah, truly insane. That's a great one.
That's I hadn't
It'd be
considered
something.
that.
A lot to answer for.
We'll send her a note.
Yeah.
Maybe she hates us. Maybe she thinks we're bad. And Nick probably goes home and is like, "That Filippo made me buy another car."
Oh, she tax it all.
Can't believe it.
I think she
I didn't even want to.
Don't give Nick ideas.
I fairly comment she watches and/or listens to the pod.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Only when Nick's on. She's not going to hear this. Okay,
We're good.
That's the end. There's a Pinsgauer on the site. By the time you're watching this, long gone.
Long
Sorry,
gone.
someone else bought it.
But
Velocity,
cars,
don't
all
talk.
the Velocity cars, if you go to browse/Velocity or go to the banner,
I'm gonna go with the banner. That's cool as hell.
it is very cool. There's a lot of incredible cars that are going to be ending tomorrow when you're listening to this.
Tomorrow.
So make sure
So
you
many
stay tuned.
cars.
I'm not
This-
sure it comes around to that.
Yeah,
by the
maybe-
way.
Oh, maybe it does.
You might have to go to carsandbids.com again. And by the way,
That was
even
that's
there.
a note for you. Go to carsandbids.com.
Click on it. But truly, there's some absolutely incredible cars.
If you've ever wanted
check
a
it out.
Lola T212,
And
you've
you
been
have.
sitting here waiting. You've been waiting for all these years.
By the way, that Skyline, wild.
I know.
6,000
I saw it
miles,
come in, I
Midnight
was like,
Purple
I want to
2.
buy this, and then I looked at the
Yeah, it's
Midnight
it's gonna go
Purple.
for real money.
If you ever wanted a Lola T12 and I want to buy this, this is your chance. Now Nick's going to buy it and be like, but Doug said on the pod.
Yeah, now's this is my chance. Hold
Doug said
on.
on the pod, this is my chance. This is my, I had to buy it. Okay, that's our last thing. Anything else? Any parting thoughts?
Safe travels.
Safe travels to you. I'll see you at Velocity.
Yeah.
Our best pod ever. Goodbye,
Goodbye.
everyone.
Goodbye. My hair's back to normal.